help others in becoming perfect. So let's start with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanathmirandhasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahigana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahigana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminate Namine Namaste Saraswate Devye Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradaite Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Krishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vansakalpatarubhasya Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so now I request Sashwat Prabhu and his group members, please proceed with the little Hare Krishna Maha Mantra Kirtan. Then after that, we'll have to go for recitation, and our, Chief Radhakant Prabhu, he will, enlighten us. He will address, today's session. Hare Krishna, please, Sashwat Prabhu.
So I would request my team, Krishna Ghosh and Pranav. Please be ready. Namo Vishnupadaya Vishnushaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Prasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare हरिनाम संकीर्तन की
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Okay. Dhanyavad. Thank you. Sashwat Prabhu, Pranav Prabhu, Krishna Ghosh Prabhu, and other devotees, for very enthusiastically, leading the kirtan. Now, I quickly request the 11th graders, Vedang Prabhu, Venkat Prabhu, and their other teammates, who are going to recite the 12th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Dvadashodhyayah. Arjuna Uvacha. Evam Satata Yuktaye. Vastvam Paryupasate. Ye Chapyaksharam Avyaktam. Tesham Yogavittamaha. Bhagavan Vacha. Maya Veshamano Emam.
Nityayukta upasate
Shraddhaya
Parayupetaste
Yukta Tamavataha. Ye Tvaksharam Anirdeshyam. Vyaktam Paryupasate. Sarvatra Brahmachintam Cha. Kutasthamachalam Dhruvam.
Just 1 minute. So one boy recite, others follow, because there's a lag. It's not proper. Okay. So one boy lead, others follow.
Sanniyam Indriya Gramam.
Anniyam Indriya Gramam
Sarvatra Samabuddhaya.
Sarvatra Samabuddhaya
Te prapnuvanti mameva.
Te prapnuvanti mameva
Bhuta hiterata.
Sarvabhuta hiterata
Yeshodiktarastesham.
Kleshodiktarastesham
Vyakta sakta cetasham.
Avyakta Sakta Chetasam
Avyakta hi gatir dukham.
Avyakta hi Gatir Dukham
Dehavat bheravapyate.
Dehavat Avapyate
Ye tu sarvani karmani.
Ye tu sarvani karmani
Mayi sannyasa matpara.
Mayi sanyasya matpara
Ananyaneva yogena.
Ananyaiva yogena
Abhyatanta upasate.
Mam dhyayanta upasate
Tesham aham samudrata.
Tesham aham samudharta
Yu samsara sagarat.
Mrityu samsara sagarat
Bhavami nachirat partha.
Bhavami na chirat partha
Yaveshita chetasam.
Maya veshita chetasam
Kamanadashta.
Mayeva mana adhasva
Ye buddhim niveshaya.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya
Asishyasi mayeva.
Nivashtishyasi mayeva
Aurdvam na samshaya.
Ata urdhvam na samshayah
Tथा चित्तं समाधातुं
Atha chittam samadhatum
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिराम्
Na shaknosi mayi sthiram
अभ्यासयोगेन ततो
Abhyasa yogena tato
मामिच्छप्तुं ध्यानय
Mamichaptum dhananjaya
अभ्यासेऽप्यास्मृतोऽसि
अभ्यासेभ्यः समर्थोऽसि
कर्मा परमो भव
मत्कर्मा परमो भव
अर्थमपि कर्माणि
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिम् अवाप्स्यसि
तदपि शक्तोऽसि
अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि
मद्योगमाश्रिता
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
सर्वकर्माफलत्यागाम्
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
तथा कुरु यतात्मवान्
तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमाव्यसात्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानाभ्यासात्
गणनाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ज्ञानात् कर्मफलत्यागस्
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
त्यागच्छन्तेरनन्तरम्
त्यागच्छन्त्यनन्तरम्
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां
Advaita
सर्वभूतानां
मैत्रा करुणा एव च
मैत्रा करुणा एव च
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारा
निरहङ्कार
दुःखा सुखा शमी
समदुःखसुखक्षमी
तुष्टा सततं योगी
सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी
आत्मा दृढनिश्चया
यतात्मा दृढनिश्चय
यार्पिता मनो बुद्धिर्
मयि अर्पिता मनो बुद्धिः
मद्भक्ता समे प्रिया
यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः
मानोद्विजते लोको
यस्मान्नो विद्यते लोको
मानोद्विजते च या
लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः
हर्षमर्षा भयोद्वेगैर् तो या सा च मे प्रिया
मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः
अन्यपेक्षा सुचिर्दक्षा
अनपेक्षा सुचिर्दक्षा
आसीनो गताव्यता
Udaasino
सर्वरम्भा परित्यागी
सर्वरंगापरित्यागी
मद्भक्ता समे प्रिया
यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः
दुष्यन्ति नाद्वेष्टि
यो
यो
न
न शोचति न द्वेष्टि
शोचति न काङ्क्षति
न शोचति न काङ्क्षति
शुभा परित्यागी
शुभाशुभपरित्यागी
इमान्या समे प्रिया
भक्तिमान्या स मे प्रियः
समाशत्रु च मित्रे च
समाशत्रु च मित्रे च
अनापमान्ययो
तथा नापमानयो
तोष्णा सुख दुःखेषु
शीतोष्ण
सुखदुःखेषु
मा संगा विवर्जिता
समसंगा विवर्जिता
तुल्या निंदा स्तुतिर्मौनी
तुल्या निन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी
तुष्टो येन केनचित्
सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित्
निकेता स्थिरा माते
अनिकेतः स्थिरमते
ते मन्मे प्रियो नरा
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः
ये तु धर्मामृतम् इदम्
ये तु धर्मामृतमिदम्
उक्तं पर्युपासते
यथोक्तं पर्युपासते
नामता परमा
श्रद्धानामत्परमा
तस्ते त्वीव मे प्रिया
भक्तास्ते त्वेव मे प्रिया
ॐ तत्सविधि श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्ण अर्जुन संवादे भक्तियोगो
नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Thank you so much, Vedant Prabhu, Venkat Prabhu, and other devotees for very wonderfully reciting 12th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. Okay, so now we proceed with the program, and we have His Grace Radhakan Prabhuji with us.
My Sundar Prabhu, I think one boy can speak first.
Okay, yes, Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji, like, is it speech or from their competition, speech competition?
Speech competition. So how many boys are speaking?
There are many, Prabhuji. Like I think 16 boys are there. Like from
Okay, and
9th,
who are the judges?
9th, 10th, and we have the judges. Like we have Ajay Prabhuji, English teacher, and then we have Chandrasekhar Prabhuji. We also have Mukesh Prabhuji.
Okay, okay.
Yes. So,
Okay, so what do you suggest? Should I speak now?
Prabhuji, it would be very nice, like if you begin the program, please speak something so that we can proceed the other devotees.
Okay, then I'll begin.
Okay, so let us welcome Radhakant Prabhuji by loudly chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna. So how are the boys doing? All of you okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, happy to see all of you after a long gap. So, okay, so wish you very, very happy Republic Day. So may Krishna bless all of you wonderful boys. So yes, you have a nice program. So thanks to teacher for organizing this program. So I'll just speak 10-15 minutes about the glories of Bharatavarsha. So anyone, if you remember last year what we did, let us see how good is your memory. एक साल के पहले on 26 January, you boys were here, all the boys, at least the old boys, you all here last year. Does anyone remember who came to give the class?
Yes, Rudy.
Yes, Vedant.
Hagri Prabhu, Rudy. His
No,
Grace
no.
Hagri.
Nobody remembers.
His Grace Ramakant Prabhu.
Yes, Priyanshu, good. Ramakant Prabhu. Yes. And he read a verse and he spoke on a verse from Bhagavatam. So I'll choose the same verse today. Okay. So maybe you may remember when I read this. Okay, you can chant after me. Etat eva hi deva gayanti.
Etat evai deva gayati.
Aho amisham kimakari shobhanam.
Aho Amisham Kimakari Shobhanam
Prasanna esham sviduta swayam harihi.
Prasanna Yesham Sviduta Swayam Harihi
Janma labdham bharatajire.
Yer Janma Labdham Rishubharatajire
Kunda sevo paikam spriyahina.
Mukunda Sevaupayikam Spriyahiyam
Etadeva hi deva gayanti.
Etadeva Gayanti
O amisham kimakari shobhanam.
Aho Amisham Kimakari Shobhanam
Prasanna esham sviduta swayam harihi.
Prasannamesham Sviduta Swayam Harihi
Yer janma labdham nishubharatajire.
Yer Janma Labdham Rishubharatajire
Sevo paikam spriyahina.
Mukunda Sevaupayikam Spriyahinaha.
So what translation? Etat, this, eva, indeed, he certainly, devaha, all the demigods, gayanti, chant, aho, oh, amisham, of these inhabitants of Bharatavarsha, kim, what, akari was done, shobhanam, pious, beautiful activities, prasanna, pleased, esham, upon them, svit, or uta, it is said, swayam, personally, harihi, the supreme personality of Godhead, yahi, by whom, janma, birth, labdham, obtained, nishu, in human society, Bharata Ajire, in the courtyard of Bharatavarsha, Mukunda, the supreme personality of Godhead who can offer liberation, Seva Upaikam, which is the means of serving, Spriha, desire, he indeed, Nah, our. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Since the human form of life is a sublime position for spiritual realization, all the demigods in heaven speak in this way. How wonderful it is for these human beings to have been born in the land of Bharatavarsha. They must have executed pious acts of austerity in the past, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself must have been pleased with them. Otherwise, how could they engage in devotional service in so many ways? We demigods can only aspire to achieve human births in Bharatavarsha, to execute devotional service. But these human beings are already engaged there. Okay, would someone like to read the purport? Please raise your hand. Any volunteer for reading the purport? Okay, Sashwat. Okay, Sashwat, read.
These facts are further explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 9.41. Bharata Bhumite Haila Manusya Janma Yar, Janma Sarthaka Kari Kara Para Upakar. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatvarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of other people. There are many facilities in India, Bharatvarsh, for executing devotional service. In Bharatvarsh, all the acharyas contributed their experience, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally appeared to teach the people of Bharatvarsha how to progress in spiritual life and be fixed in devotional service to the Lord. From all points of view, Bharatavarsha is the special land where only one can very easily understand the process of devotional service and adopt it to make his life successful. If one makes his life successful in devotional service and then preaches the devotional service in other parts of the world, people throughout the world will actually benefit.
Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Pashyata Desha Tarine, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhaktivinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. I'll be happy if all of you can turn on your videos, you can see your face. Okay, so happy to see all of your bright faces. Okay, so both the Priyanshus are there, Bada Priyanshu and Chota Priyanshu. Priyanshu Prasad and Priyanshu Seni. Okay, I can see Venkat, Anurag Gupta, Shubham Naidu, and teachers. Everybody is there. Chandrasekhar Prabhu, Nimai Sundar Prabhu, Sashwat. Okay. So this important verse from Srimad Bhagavatam talks about the glories of Bharatavarsha. That even demigods, any devta bhi prarthana kar rahe, they are also praying to take birth in this holy land of Bharatavarsha. Even demigods, they are praying to take birth in this holy land of Bharatavarsha. So kitni mahima hai Bharatvarsha. I hope everybody understands English in this group, right? Is there anyone? Okay, maybe one or two guests may be there. I'll try to mix Hindi and English. तो ऐसे क्या महानता है? What is that speciality in Bharat Bhumi? That we have to understand. So as Nimai Sundar Prabhu explained in the beginning, that this country is named Bharata because of, actually Srila Prabhupada says there are three great Bharata. there are three great persons in the history of humanity whose name was Bharata. So who can say one Bharata is? Can you write in the chat box the three Bharata names? Who are the three famous Bharata? Three famous Bharat Maharaj. Let me see who are writing the answers. Okay, one is brother of Lord Ram. Good. So we know Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna. Second is son of Dushyant and Shakuntala. Yes, that is also nice. And the third Bharat is son of Rishabdev. Yes, Pranabhanda. So all these three were great Bharat. But Srila Prabhupada says among three of them, the son of Rishabdev, he was very special. And after him, this country is known as Bharatavarsha. Okay. And he was the son of Rishabdev. And his pastimes are there in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam. So after him, this country came to be known as Bharata, Bharata Bhumi. So what is the speciality of Bharat Bhumi? So here in this verse, we are saying it's so special that even demigods, you know, Vedic cosmology, there are so many planetary systems, upper planetary systems, lower planetary systems. So even those who are staying in the heavenly planets, they have so much of opulence, so much of facilities to enjoy. But they also pray, oh, when can we take birth in this land of Bharata Bhumi? Why? So what is the speciality? Here is the answer. Because we can engage in devotional service in so many ways. That is the speciality of Bharata Bhumi. It's not that we are making, India is progressing, we are making new factories, we are making new flyovers. Okay, that is good. But we are way, in this we cannot compare with the West. I have been to countries like, cities like, Dubai, London, Singapore. So we cannot compete with them in making flyovers, in making skyscraper building. No, that is not India's specialty. India's specialty is that this land offers the opportunity to progress in spiritual life, to practice devotional service to Krishna. So India is the spiritual capital of the world. Even our Prime Minister says that India should become Vishwa Guru, leader of the world. But leader in what? Technology, we are still way behind. Yes, India is also progressing now. We see we are launching our satellites. We're making progress, but still we are way behind the West in terms of technology. But what is the unique thing about India? India की क्या विशेषता है? Our spiritual knowledge. I always tell this story, some of you must have heard, that when Srila Prabhupada, he had gone once to London, and the reporters asked him that, Swamiji, why have you come to the West? Your country is very poor. You want to beg some money from us? What do you want to take from UK? So Srila Prabhupada became a little serious. He said, see, you Britishers, when you ruled India, you looted everything. You took all our riches. You took Kohinoor, you took everything that was valuable in India. You looted the country nicely. But unfortunately, you forgot to take the most important treasure of India, the most valuable wealth of India that you forgot to take. And I have come to give you that. So what is that? The most valuable treasure of India? Yes? Write in chat box. What is that most valuable thing in India, in Bharatavarsha, which the Britishers forgot to take, which Srila Prabhupada said, I have come to give you? Yeah. So in two words, we can say Vedic knowledge and Vedic culture. The knowledge of Bhagavad-Gita and Bhagavatam and the culture of Bharata. So these two are the most important aspects of our country, which is very special. We have such great books as Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, which can show direction to the entire world. Everybody is confused. But these two books, Srila Prabhupada said, like torchlight of wisdom, they can guide the entire humanity. Krishna Swadhamupagate Dharma Jnana Divi Saha Purana Arka Dhunodita. So when Krishna went back to his planet, there was darkness all around. So Srimad Bhagavatam has arisen like the sun to give the rays of hope to the entire humanity. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has spoken to guide the entire humanity. And today the world and big philosophers. In our Learn Gita, Live Gita course, if you must have read, Neela Pushmu writes about people like Albert Einstein and Aldous Huxley, Hermann Hesse, big philosophers, big scientists in the world, they all appreciate Bhagavad Gita. It has been translated to all the major languages of the world. So this is the real treasure of India. Knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Vedic culture, the lifestyle. He had such a wonderful lifestyle. Living in harmony with nature, respecting everyone, having gratitude for everyone. So these are the virtues, these are the qualities which were naturally there in Bharat Bhumi. And that is what the whole world is missing today. Although we have progressed so much in science and technology, but still we can see so much of unrest in the world, lack of moral values. People are shooting each other in schools. Marriages are not successful. All the old people are in old age homes. So much trouble we see in the society. So much intoxication. And as a consequence of all the sins that we're doing, we have pandemics, COVID and all these things. So the human society is in chaos. So only Bharat Bhumi can show torchlight to the entire world. This is the right time that India can actually become Vishwa Guru. Like Srila Prabhupada, he was a true Indian, true Bharatwasi, who went to the West and told them about India's culture, about the culture of Bharat Bhumi, about the Vedic knowledge. And so many people, they accepted. And Prabhupada once in one lecture, he told, look, if one Indian, if I could go and do so much, what if everyone does this? So my dear boys who are studying in Bhaktivedanta Gurukula International School, Srila Prabhupada's own school, so today is the day, please think about it. That what is the mission of your life? Do you just want to lead a life like a ordinary man in the society, just get a job, just marry, produce some children, become old and die? Or do you want to do something great for the society, for humanity? Accept this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Bharat Bhumite Manushya Janma Hilo Jat, Janma Sarthak Kari. So make your life successful and Karo Paropkar and benefit others. Para Upakar. This is Sanatana Dharma. We always want to help others. Sarve Sukhina Bhavantu. But what is the process to help others? That is by giving this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, by giving the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So we have to accept this first. We cannot directly start distributing. First, have to accept. So first, we have to follow Bhagavad Gita in our life. First, we have to accept holy name in our life, and then we can preach it to others. And then actually India can become the spiritual leader of the entire world. We have that most valuable knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. This land is so special, Bharat Bhumi, where we have beautiful rivers like Ganga and Yamuna, where we have so many holy places like Vrindavan, Ayodhya. We have so many great sages who have taken birth in this holy land. Of course, all you boys will speak on various topics. I'll not speak much, but today on this special day, I just want you all to please remember this point, that what is the meaning of being a true Bharatwasi? A person like normal youth in the society today, they just wear jeans t-shirt and they smoke and they do whatever nonsense. Do you think they're Bharatwasis? No, they are not Bharatwasis. A Bharatvasi or a true Indian is one who follows Bhagavad-Gita, who follows the principles, the 4 pillars of Dharma, Tapa, Saucha, Daya, Satya. So one who is breaking the 4 negative principles, one who is eating meat, one who is doing intoxication, illicit sex, gambling, he is not a Bharatvasi. No. So we must remember the sacrifices done by great freedom fighters. Why they did that? Because they had the vision that we will become a great country. We'll follow our Vedic scriptures, we'll become leader for the world. But unfortunately, 73, today is 73rd Republic Day, or 76 years of independence. But still, we have not actually become true Indians. Even Mahatma Gandhi had a vision. He said, Gita Nagari, that we should have every village and town. Srila Prabhupada also said this should become Gita Nagari, with Bhagavad Gita in the center. People should lead a life in harmony with nature. That is true India. So my dear students, this is the age, you are young now. So I request all of you to please take this seriously in your life and make your life successful. And then you can do a great service for the entire world, for the entire humanity. And then your life will be glorious, your family will be glorious, and we all will be happy with you. Okay, thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Radhakant Prabhuji, for an enlightening word on the special occasion of Republic Day. So now we begin, our programs with the permission of all the teachers and all seniors and all students. I request, like the following students, please send, personally WhatsApp me, like in which language you're going to speak and what is your topic. But we have, the list of students, right? There are 8 students from 9th grade. They are going to speak. They're going to participate in speech competition. So we have a choice. You can speak either in Hindi or in English. You're already, given name and told to the respective teachers. And but the debate competition will strictly be in English language. So we have 8 students for speech competitions, and then we have the 3 students from 9th grade, 3 students from 10th grade, and then 1, 2, 3, 6 students from 11th grade and 1 from 12th. So total we have 18 participants. A big Haribol for them. Haribol. I hope you all know the rules of the competition, that each participant will be given maximum 3 minutes to speak. So please be careful about the time. And you open your talk and try to try to finish by say 2.5 minutes, and like there's 30 seconds you can just take it for conclude. Please don't exceed the time. Okay, you can give me in advance the language, like just one participant sent me that now he wants to speak in Hindi, no problem. Okay, and then you can use your slideshow and other thing, but you will have to tell me in advance that if you're going to, so I can make you the co-host and you can share your material. And be very careful that nothing should be included, like anything which is like violence, controversial, conspiracies. You should be very careful about sharing the content. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So I would like to request Akshar Pathak Prabhu first. Akshar is here. And we are starting from, then after the Akshar, we have the Krishna Ghosh Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I think you're muted. Okay. Is Akshar Prabhu is here? Akshar Pathak, 9th grade. Okay. Akshar is not here. Yes, Krishna Ghosh Prabhu, are you here?
Okay. My Sundar Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Please spotlight the speaker, whoever will speak. Right,
yes,
night manifest, so that because it's also live on YouTube, so that we can get a nice video later.
Yes, Prabhu. Sure.
So boys, you can also see your own recorded videos later. Okay, it's live on YouTube channel, Vijay's YouTube channel.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Yes, okay. So from 9th grade, who is ready? Krishna Ghosh Prabhu, are you ready with your speech?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, okay. Yes, Prabhu. So please. And then after that, Ronak Advani, Sashwat Handa Prabhu. Okay.
Should I start?
Yes, sure, Prabhu.
Okay, so Hare Krishna. I am Krishna Ghosh of ninth, presenting speech topic in English. And the topic of my speech is role of Bhagavad Gita in building an ideal citizen. So, as we know, Bhagavad Gita is itself a song sung by Lord Krishna during the biggest war which happened till now, which is Mahabharata. And it was told first to a sun god and then to Ishvaku. But then again, it was repeated during the Mahabharata war to Arjuna, who was himself a great warrior, an archer, and was magnificent, even a Shastra learner. Here we see that Arjuna and Krishna are themselves Nara and Narayana, and here Arjuna a bit confused between in the midst of battle, and here Bhagavad Gita was spoken. So we can understand ourselves here as Arjuna. We are stuck in the midst of Maya and bewildered about this illusion created by Maya. So our work is to come out of Maya and know what is the real absolute truth, which Bhagavad Gita helps us. Bhagavad Gita not only helps us in spiritual advancement but also in material advancement. And here we can compare ourselves as Arjuna only, a type of. So here there are indeed many misconceptions of people to this pious book, which is Bhagavad Gita. But being foolish in nature, they can't take Krishna's mercy, because this is a type of Krishna's mercy. He is giving us Gita, where he himself is giving all solution, whatever we need. So ISKCON is meant to create more and more preachers like Amoglila, His Grace Amoglila Prabhuji. So we can take the matter and throw these misconceptions out, so that there are no misconceptions in the mind of people. It is not necessary that Vedas, Puranas, we have to study all this and become like Ved Vyas and Narad Muni, but yeah, we can go in Grihastha life also, take a bit nice degree and then do preaching, so that all know about the absolute truth. Lord says, Name Bhakta Prashnati, that in the ninth chapter, my devotees never perish. So, in the simple words, we can say not to fear. Simple formula is to follow Gita, do preaching, follow Guru's instruction, and simply eat prasadam. So, here we see Gita as every situation solution. For family matters, we can refer 5th and 3rd chapter. For seeing Krishna's opulence, we can refer 11th chapter, and like this, many on. So there it's too easy. So it's simple to become an ideal citizen. Refer Bhagavad Gita. For example, Mahatma Gandhi. I can refer this shloka karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana karma karma phaletur burmate sangoshpa karmani. So here we see Lord Krishna is telling, just do whatever you are meant to do. Lord will see what is the fruits to be given. Not to fear that what will be the conclusion. What should I get? I am wrong or right? Do what you are meant to do. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much, Krishna Ghosh Prabhu. A big Haribol for Krishna Ghosh Prabhu for such a wonderful. Haribol. So thank you. So now I request the next participant, Ronak Advani Prabhu. Are you here, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can start.
Yeah. Hare Krishna to all the assembled devotees here. 26th January is celebrated with a great pomp and a fervor throughout all our country as a Republic Day. It honors the date of which Constitution of India came into effect in the year 1950. The date was 26 November, just 2 months before this date. As a primary governing document of this sovereign and democratic republic, at present it consists 444 articles, which is grouped into 25 parts, which is law abiding for nearly 135 crore citizens throughout this vast, variegated area. Most astonishing part is that the supreme law of India, which sets out fundamental rights, directive principles, and duties of the citizen, is required to be changed and corrected every now and then, despite the difficulty supermajority requirement for an amendment to pass, the Indian Constitution is the world's most frequently amended national document, which has been altered for more than 100 years. On the other side, we get information from Mahabharata, that same Bhagavad Gita, which was imparted from Arjun, was first spoken to Sun Lord Vishwavan. In the beginning of Treta Yuga, before the birth of current Manu, this time is calculated to be roughly around 12 crore years in the past. It clearly means that there has now been single amendment made in this spiritual document from last 12 crore years and still remains the most suitable text available for guiding the human society. Being the largest written constitution in the world with over 100 lakh words in English language, Indian constitution is way too complex for a common man to understand and therefore is often considered as a paradise of lawyers, where Lord Krishna explained the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita with very straightforward, loud, in manner in just 700 shlokas, which can be very easily understood, applied under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. But the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita often is so universal and advanced that same science which was explained to Arjuna on the planet is equally suitable for higher celestial beings residing in the heavenly planets like Swarga, situated far, far away from Earth, two in different time scale. The whole idea is not to disgrace and or humiliate our reputed constitution, but to have a different approach and realize that if we are asked to follow and place faith in this natural doctrine, in spite of many imperfections, then the same conviction and solidarity should be invested in this universal constitution beautifully. Just imagine this kind of perfect, unadulterated knowledge and wisdom that we get from such a small book, which in itself has a capacity to liberate us from all the material miseries and elevate us back to Godhead. Therefore, this Republic Day, when you celebrate the anniversary of Indian Constitution, take out time to understand and apply this universal constitution of life, Bhagavad Gita. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ronak Prabhu. Hare Krishna, for speaking about how the Bhagavad Gita should be used as a constitution of India.
Universal
It's not only for
constitution.
India, because it's for universal. And of course we know that, like, in all sense, entire tract of land is known as Bharatwasi. And once I heard that, like, Prabhupada also spoke, like, that a time will come, when the books, it's this BBT books, will be, like, or will be, the law books, basically, the law books, and especially, the Bhagavad Gita, as the Shankaracharya wrote in Gita Mahatma, Sarva Upanishadho Gao Dugdha Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudar Bhakta Dugdham
Greatest of the
Gita Amritam
Upanishads.
Mahat, actually. Thank you. Also, one big Hari Bol for Ronak Prabhu. Hari Bol from all participants, actually. So Krishna Ghosh Prabhu and Ronak Prabhu really set a good, good platform for all of us. So now, in the same line, I would like to request Sashwat Prabhu. He is going to speak on, again, the glories of Bharatvarsh ki Mahanta. Sashwat will speak in Hindi language. After that, Pranav Handa Prabhu should be ready. He will also going to speak the same topic.
हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
मातृभूमि की गाथाएं मातृभाषा में ही गाऊंगा. गर्व करो भारत भूमि पर, ए भारतवासियों, ये एहसास करवाऊंगा. हरे कृष्णा. मैं शाश्वत हांडा, 9वीं कक्षा का छात्र, आज भारतवर्ष की गाथाओं के बारे में गाते हुए भारत माता के चरणों में कुछ श्रद्धा सुमन अर्पित करूंगा. भारत भूमि एक ऐसी भूमि है जहां पर देवता गण उत्सुक रहते हैं एक घास की तिनके के रूप में जन्म लेने के लिए. भारत भूमि एक ऐसी भूमि है जिसने विश्व को पता नहीं क्या क्या दान में दे दिया है. शून्य का वह कॉन्सेप्ट जिससे गणित की बहुत सारी जो उलझने हैं वो 2 चुटकियां बजाते सुलझ जाती हैं। अणु तथा परमाणु का वह कंसेप्ट जो महर्षि कनाद ने विश्व को दिया, जिसे आजकल ब्रिटिशर्स और ग्रीक लोग, यूनानी लोग अपना बताते हैं, वो महर्षि कनाद ने ही आगे रखा था। भारत भूमि ने विश्व को वेदों के रूप में बहुत कुछ दिया है। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता का आदेश, श्री महाभारत, रामायण के रूप में जनजाति के लोगों को इतने सारे सुसंदेश, परंतु आज भारतवासी हैं कि विदेश का अनुसरण करते करते भूल गए हैं ये अपनी इस संस्कृति को, अपनी वैदिक संस्कृति को, अपनी भारतीय संस्कृति को। तो मैं आज यह कहने आया हूं कि ये भारतवासियों, अपनी भारत भूमि पर गर्व करो कि तुमने इस भारत भूमि में जन्म लिया है जहां पर देवता तक उत्सुक रहते हैं। ऐसी भारत भूमि जिसे सोने की चिड़िया कहा जाता था, ऐसी भारत भूमि जिसने विश्व को पता नहीं क्या क्या दिया है, ऐसी भारत भूमि जिसने अपने इतिहास के 1 लाख वर्षों से ज्यादा में किसी भी देश पर आक्रमण नहीं किया, ऐसी भारत भूमि जिसपे चाणक्य जैसे महान विद्वान उत्पन्न हुए और उन्होंने पूरी विश्व को राजनीति का पाठ पढ़ाने वाला अर्थशास्त्र लिखा, ऐसा भारतवर्ष जहां पर पाणिनि महर्षि हुए और उन्होंने संस्कृत व्याकरण के रूप में एक देव भाषा पूरे विश्व को उपहार में प्रदान की। तो हे भारतवासियों, मैं एक संदेश देना चाहूंगा, जहां पर आज पूरा विश्व वैदिक संस्कृति, भारतीय संस्कृति का लोहा मान रहा है, वहीं पर आजकल हम विदेशों की जो बढ़ती हुई गलत चीजें हैं उनका अनुसरण कर रहे हैं। तो मैं यही संदेश देना चाहता हूं कि हमें अपनी वैदिक संस्कृति का भी अनुसरण करना चाहिए, उसका भी अनुकरण करना चाहिए। श्रील प्रभुपाद ने पूरे विश्व में वैदिक संस्कृति फैलाई ताकि भारतवासी ये देख के वैदिक संस्कृति को अपनाए कि विदेशी भी इसको अपना रहे हैं, परंतु हम हैं कि विदेशों की गलत चीजों का अनुसरण कर रहे हैं। हमें अपनी भारत भूमि पर गर्व होना चाहिए, वैदिक संस्कृति पे गर्व होना चाहिए। अंत में मैं यही संदेश देना चाहूंगा कि इस गणतंत्र दिवस के पावन अवसर पर कृपया वैदिक संस्कृति को अपनाना शुरू करें, जिससे कि हमारे भारत का सिर गर्व से ऊंचा हो जाए। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। बहुत सुंदर,
बहुत बढ़िया।
बहुत ही सुंदर तरीके से शाश्वत प्रभु ने बताया कि कैसे हमें भारत भूमि पे गर्व होना चाहिए और हमें अपनी भाषा है ना, जो हमारी मातृभाषा है या जो हमारी राष्ट्रभाषा है हिंदी, उस पर भी गर्व होना चाहिए। और उन्होंने किस तरीके से बहुत सुंदर तरीके से बताया कि कैसे हमें ये समझने का प्रयास करना चाहिए कि हमारे पास श्रेष्ठतम ज्ञान और श्रेष्ठतम साधन उपलब्ध है। तो अभी मैं आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट प्रणव हांडा प्रभु अगेन फ्रॉम द 9th grade. Pranav Prabhu is also going to speak on glories of Bharatvarsha and the language will be English. Yes, Pranav Prabhu.
Hare Krishna everyone present here. Today I'll want to speak a little bit about the glories of our Bharatvarsha, या फिर India. So India or Bharatvarsha is the home of eclectic sages, scholars, administrators, philosophers, geniuses and freedom fighters. India has born people who have revolutionized our thoughts of and feelings. India has contributed not only in the field of education, knowledge, science, astronomy, medical sciences, surgeries, revolutionary mathematical concepts, but also in the theology of body, mind, and soul. India's greatest contribution is the one which has divulged the bamboozled existence of God. Since time immemorial, there always has been discussion about the beginning of the universe and the existence of life. Even today, in the modern era of technology, there has been no solid evidence or explanation about such questions. But our Vedic texts explain such questions to an incomprehensible extent, which are scientifically proven. The explanation of creation is but a mere portion of the vast knowledge of India. Prominent people like Chanakya, Aryabhatta, Srinivas Ramanuja, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and many more have contributed in the specific fields of knowledge many years in advance. But all academic and administrative excellence is just a dainty drop of truth. The greatest contribution and gift ever by India is spiritual knowledge about who we are and who is God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu states, Bharat Bhumite Haila Manusha Janmaya Janama Sarthaka Karikara Parupakar. One has taken birth in this human one has taken birth in this human being in this land of India or Bharatvarsha should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all people. Para Upakar. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, has taken it about himself to preach the glories of Gita Upanishad and Bhagavad Puran. At the age of 70 years, he traveled the world in frail health 14 times. And by his efforts and mercy, now we have the International Society for Krishna Consciousness and the Bhaktivedanta Gurukula and International School. Today on Republic Day, I request all of you to introspect about Paropkar, the art of giving, which is an Indian's duty, and to be grateful about all the contributions of our great antecedents. Jai Hind and Hare Krishna. All glories to Guru and Gaurang.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pranav Prabhu, for sharing your views on this important topic, glories of Bharatvarsha. A big Haripol for Pranav Prabhu. Now I would like to request Pavitra Prabhu and Manjunath Prabhu and Shivansh Prabhu. You can be ready after Pavitra. Hare Krishna. Is Pavitra here? Okay. Yes, Manjunath Prabhu, are you ready with your speech? Okay, Manjunath is. Yes, Shivansh. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. You can speak with your topic. Yes, Hare Krishna, Shivansh Prabhu. Your topic, Shivansh? What topic you chose?
I chose the importance of Bhagavad Gita in the lives of our freedom fighters.
Okay, yeah, very nice. You would like to speak in Hindi or English?
English, Prabhuji, I have written in.
Okay, so you can start, Shivansh.
Prabhuji, I'll be after Manjunath.
First time then Manjunath Prabhu is not. Yeah, Pavitra Prabhuji, because of some family occasions, I cannot take out some time to prepare. No problem. Like if you can speak extempore, like if you're ready, like Pavitra, because okay. So yes, Manjunath Prabhu is not here. So next, I would like the Shivansh Prabhu. Would you like to speak?
Prabhuji, I can speak after.
Okay, so fine actually. Okay, so thank you all so much. Like they were like, and I hope like is Akshar Prabhu is here again from another 9th grade. Akshar, Pathak, Pavitra Prabhu, and Manjunath and Shivansh. They have given their names to speak. Okay. Are there anyone? Yes, Pavitra Prabhu, Shivansh. Okay. Okay. Yes. So let's. Yeah, sure. Yeah, who is there? Like Harshvardhan? Okay, Harshvardhan Prabhu. Yes, okay, please. Thank you. And Shivanshu, please be ready, after Harshvardhan Prabhu.
Okay,
yes,
today my topic is the 4 lakhs of Dharma, the 4 pillars of Dharma. What is the meaning of Dharma? Dharma means what is the meaning of Dharma? Dharma means duty, karma. In this Srimad Bhagavatam, Dharma is described as a bull who stands on 4 lakh: austerity, cleanliness, truthfulness, and kindness. These principles are common to all aspects of human life, including that which is not directly associated with religion. Let us talk about four pillars of Dharma. First pillar, first leg of austerity. Austerity in the simplest sense means hard work. It is the act of self-abnegation to achieve some goal. All of us understand that to get something we must work. Or austerity is the trouble that the mind and body have to undertake to achieve the goal. The second leg is cleanliness. The word clean is normally identify with sanitation. Example, taking bath, wearing clean clothes, washing your food before consumption, etc. But clean also means systematic and you organize. For example, you might say that the room look clean, not because it has been swept and moved, but also because the things in the seem to be organized and orderly. The third leg of kindness. Kindness is the opposite selfishness. And to be kind means to be unselfish and cooperative. Kindness depends on humility, which comes from self-confidence. Conversely, selfishness is the symptom of inner weakness, which prompts a person to remain selfish and fear their self-preservation. The fourth leg of dharma is truthfulness. Lastly, once you have become kind, you can offer help to others. But what kind of help is that going to be? Should that help expand their short-term thinking, support the practice of unsystematic and patchy work, and spread superficial charity in order to appear to be kind to others? Or should it be the dispensation of truth, however harsh and painful, that reinforces long-term over short-term thinking, exhort the person to work in a systematic and disciplined manner, and point out personality flaws so that they can be corrected? Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshvardhan Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, thank you for speaking about the four pillars of dharma. And as you all know that we basically the students of Bhaktivedanta Gurukula in the international school, actually every morning, like in your assembly, you take a pledge that yes, we follow the four pillars of dharma, namely Satya, Daya, Tapa, and Shocha. So this is very important because Prabhupada said, if anybody who doesn't follow these four principles of life, his life is more or less than an animal, actually. And the Srimad Bhagavatam, specifically uses a word, and that's really hard to hear, but it's a truth. Srimad Bhagavatam uses a term called Dvipad Pashu, and the English, translation of that, like the two-legged, sophisticated, deluxe version of animal. So at present time, the entire society is going towards that direction. Prabhupada wrote a very wonderful book. You all can read. It's a small book, Civilization and Transcendent. And Prabhupada said, like, this modern civilization is actually going towards, or is like an animalistic civilization. So it's a great responsibility that we should. That is a great responsibility that some brahmana should be produced, and Prabhupada said, for that's why we have established the society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and the main purpose of the society, and especially the Gurukula, to produce brahmanas, the leader kind of people who can just lead the others in the right direction. Because if people are simply engaged in these four activities, it just remain on animal plane. But to come from animal plane to human plane, it is essentially required to follow Satya, Daya, Tapa, and Swacham. And unless and until one becomes a human, he can never understand the real goal of life. So after transcending from animal plane, one comes to human plane, and we request, even all religions are also requesting being human. And once you become human, then you understand that the goal of human form of life is to transcend. And when actually comes to the transcendental level or a spiritual level, or we call it Adhyatma. So thank you so much, Harshvardhan Prabhu. Let us chant one big Hari Bol for Harshvardhan Prabhu. Hari Bol. Now I hope, Shivansh Prabhu, are you ready? We would like to hear from you. Important of Bhagavad Gita in everyone's life. Yes, Shivansh. Hare Krishna. Okay, so then, yes, Shivansh, are you ready? The next is Shri Krishna Prabhu. Shri Krishna from 10th grade.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, are you ready with your speech?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, sure, Prabhu. Thank you. So, yeah, you can start. Hari Bol.
Om Agnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. My name is Shri Krishna, and the topic about which I'll be speaking about right now is Bhagavad Gita, the Universal Constitution. So let's get started. Lord Krishna says in chapter 10, verse number 8 of the Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. The meaning of this is, Lord Krishna is the source of everything. The material world and the spiritual world emanates from him, and the wise who know this thoroughly engage in his devotional service. The Bhagavad Gita is the greatest manual for human life, and it can only be understood or comprehended by humans, as we are one of the most intelligent species of human life among 84 lakh of species of life that roam this earth. The Bhagavad Gita consists of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, which are very essential for leading a truly meaningful and successful life. By understanding the Bhagavad Gita, we can lead a life of meaning, and we can also fulfill the purpose of human life. That is to go back to Godhead. Bhagavad Gita is actually the universal constitution of this world, but it is not implemented due to our consciousness being polluted in this material world. Our consciousness is polluted due to anger, envy, lust, jealousy, and so on and so forth. As mentioned earlier, because the Bhagavad Gita isn't implemented as a universal constitution, the world is suffering today. Marriages end up in failures. Old age people are suffering with loneliness in their old age homes. The youth today is breaking all the violations. They're breaking the four pillars of Dharma and also the regulative principles. They're smoking, they're intoxicating, gambling, and doing all such nonsensical stuff. Self-realization is very important for this generation. So what is self-realization? Self-realization comes from the Bhagavad Gita, and it is a phenomenon by which a person completely understands that he or she and all the living beings on this planet is a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And for this, the Lord says in chapter 15, verse number 7, Mama Ivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Manashashtani Indriyani Prakristani Karshati. This shloka is the very proof that all of us are the part and parcel of the Lord. And as soon as we realize this, we start treating all the organisms as equal and we stop slaughtering them. Today, this very pandemic started due to the excessive slaughter of animals at Wuhan, China. If the Bhagavad Gita was implemented as a universal constitution, all these problems would stop. That's why the Bhagavad Gita is recommended to be the constitution of this universe. The knowledge, okay. The knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita enlightens one about Krishna consciousness. All of us are originally Krishna conscious, but our consciousness is once again polluted. In this modern world, if the Bhagavad Gita isn't implemented further on as the universal constitution, the world would soon go into a dark age that is worse than this. And I would like to conclude my speech by saying one of the verses from the Bhagavad Gita, that is from chapter 15. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivratta kamaha dvandver vimukya sukha dukkha sannai gacchantya muda padamavyayam tat. The meaning of this is one who is truly free from illusion, false prestige, and false ego, and who completely understands the duality of happiness and sadness. He will enter the kingdom of God without any doubt. So thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sri Krishna Prabhu. Very nicely you spoke about the universal constitution, how Bhagavad Gita is, right? So a big Hari Bol for Sri Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Very good.
So
Thank
Hari Bol Jai. Thank you, Sri Krishna. Okay. So now we have more participants. Like I request, Shivansh Prabhu, are you ready?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Please, we'd like to hear from you. So Shivansh Prabhu is going to speak on importance of Bhagavad Gita in the lives. Yes, of course. Bhagavad Gita is a manual for the life. Yes.
Hare Krishna to all. I am Shivansh Narang of 9th grade. My today's topic of speech is the importance of Bhagavad Gita in the lives of our freedom fighters. When the entire world civilization was in the cradle, the sages of India had already recited Vedas. The ancient texts of India are considered to be the treasure of knowledge. The Bhagavad Gita is studied, analyzed, and interpreted by the most. As the topic suggests, the Bhagavad Gita had an indelible impression on the lives of our freedom fighters. The freedom movement of India was not merely a political one, but deeply inspired our leaders to renounce the material wealth and withstand the apprehension of death and physical torture, which seemed inevitable to all at that point in time. That point in time. When in 1907, Lala Lajpat Rai was imprisoned for agrarian and agitation, he was immediately sent to exile in Myanmar, now Burma, where he used to read Bhagavad Gita daily. The scripture therefore became the source of great consolation and strength in hour of agitation and deep trouble. Needless to say, another popular freedom fighter, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who was also sentenced for 6 years and was exiled to Burma too, was greatly influenced by the Bhagavad Gita. Through the scripture, he strove to evaluate the chapter of Karma Yoga over the other two chapters of Bhakti Yoga, with the view to inspire fighters with idealism of selfless devotion. In his opinion, the Gita advocates series of struggles and demands sternness and boldness to face terrible things face to face. The Bhagavad Gita entrenched a deep impact on our writer Bankim Chandra, the composer of Vande Mataram, and sketched Krishna in his commentary as flesh and blood. Netaji, another great leader, organized his Azad Hind Fauj, giving credit to the scripture as it gave him strength to liberate India from the clutches of the Britishers. Needless to say, the role of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi does need our mention at all levels. Gandhiji was totally engrossed with the magical influence of Gita. In his writings, he mentions how scripture gave him fresh joy and meaning of his life on a daily basis. He considered Gita as a universal mother whose door was open to everyone who knocked at it, as the scripture provides perennial flow of joy, peace, strength, and possibilities at all times. To sum it up, Gita can be seen as the main literary support, a backbone for all religious and social civilizations of India. It is the most definitely an apt, beautiful, and an incredible oldest surviving culture on the face of the earth. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Shivansh Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, a big Haribol for Shivansh Prabhu. Like, sorry, it was my mistake. I couldn't read the complete topic. That was like the role of Bhagavad Gita in the lives of freedom fighters. We all know, many freedom fighters.
The topic important in the lives of our freedom fighters.
Yeah, sure, bro. Thank you. So it's like one example, like this. Lokna Gangadhar, Tilak, Lokmanya Gangadhar Tilak. Actually, he wrote Bhagavad Gita in jail. He wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and many people so talk about that. And then also Mahatma Gandhi widely utilized it actually, and I can just remember there's a one good quotations which is often used by many people who basically promotes the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, that Gandhiji told once that when doubt haunts me and when disappointments stares me on the face, and when I do not see a single ray of hope on the horizon, and I just turn myself towards Bhagavad Gita, and immediately in the midst of overwhelming sorrow, I derive a new meaning and fresh joy out of it. So he says, I can boldly say that anybody who reads Bhagavad Gita will derive newer and newer meanings. And yes, it is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita that when you read Bhagavad Gita, every time you read, you get something new. And of course, this Gita is a manual of life. We all can understand, to fight for the sake of nation, it's not an easy thing, and one has to be extremely brave and courageous. And yes, they all gave the credit to Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is actually coming from Lord Sri Krishna. It's a tremendous source of inspiration and encouragement. Thank you all so much. It's Mahatma Gandhi quote for BG. I saw behind BG this small quote. Thank you, Krishna Ghosh Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So big Hari Bol for our Shivansh Prabhu. And
Hari
Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. So I hope we have a couple of persons. Venkat Prabhu, are you ready with your presentation? And then we have Anurag Prabhu, we have Arvind Prabhu, Sitanand Prabhu. If they are there, they can be lined up. Okay, so may I request Venkat Prabhu
Yes,
is our
Prabhu.
school captain. So Venkat Prabhu is going to speak again the 4 pillars of Dharma, and he made a very beautiful PowerPoint presentation. So to share, like some of the important things, if anyone you feel, you can just take a screenshot. Hare Krishna. Yes, Venkat Prabhu.
Praji, I can share the PPT.
Okay, I'm making you the co-host. You can share the PPT. Yes, and the next, Pavitra Prabhu. Yes, you can be ready. Anurag Prabhu, Pavitra Prabhu. So who is sharing this screen? Venkat Prabhu, are you sharing this screen? Okay, Mukesh Prabhu, you're
Praji,
sharing.
I'm not able to.
I made the co-host, Prabhu. You can share.
Yes, Praji.
Okay. Let's fix it out. Yeah, he can share. No? Click on top, slide share option. Start slideshow.
Can you see, Praji?
Yeah, we can see, bro. Yes, please go ahead. We can see. Satyam Daya Tapah Shocham. Please.
Hare Krishna. This Venkat in this online Zoom meeting on the very happy occasion of Republic Day. I'm going to speak on the topic, the 4 pillars of Dharma. Whenever a speaker starts speaking on a topic, audience get arise some questions in their mind. So I've taken some common questions and I'm going to answer in this topic. So the first common question which audience get is what is this topic? What are the 4 pillars of Dharma? So in Srimad Bhagavatam it's quoted that Satyam Daya Tapasocham Titi Ksheksha Samodamaha Ahimsa Brahmacharyam Cha Tyaga Swadhyaya Arjavam. So there are some general principles which should be followed by human beings. So in the first line it's quoted Satyam Daya Tapasocham. So tapa means austerity, saucha means cleanliness, daya mercy, satya means truthfulness. So when we talk about 4 pillars of dharma, we should also talk about the 4 regulative principles which is connected with this. Because the what are the 4 regulative principles? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit relationship. So when we have some illicit relationship with somebody, our saucham cleanliness pillar of dharma will be fallen down. When we are intoxicating, the austerity pillar of dharma will be fallen down. When we are meat eating, the mercy pillar of dharma will be fallen down. So when you are gambling or cheating someone, the truthfulness pillar of dharma will be fallen down. So after describing this also, some of the people will get doubt. Why should we follow the pillars, these 4 pillars of dharma? Why we should follow this dharma? This is a question which we get after explaining this first. So I just want to narrate a small story, Ajamila story, which we have already done drama in Kanpur. Some of the BJ students we went and we have done small drama on Ajamila story. So I just want to narrate it in few lines. So all of you know this Ajamila story. Ajamila was first a Brahmana who followed all regulated principles, dharma. He chanted the holy name of the Lord. But when he saw a prostitute, he started attracting towards her. He brought her to home. He cheated his wife. But truth is fire. Finally, it will burn if we keep it in our hands. So the wife got to know that he brought a prostitute to his home. A small fight happened in his home, and he pushed out his father and his wife from his home because he wanted to enjoy with that prostitute all the life long. So after spending his life long, he's a human being. So he'll have Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. He got his old age. At that time, because of his good deeds, he have named his son as Narayana. His son as Narayana. So when Yamdutas came to take him, He called his son, his favorite son and his younger son Narayana, without any aparada, full intention. He called the name Narayana. So from Vaikuntha, Vishnudutas came to save him from the Yamdutas. After saving, Ajamila got the second chance. From here, he started following the four principles of Dharma, the regulative principles. He chanted the holy name. He started doing devotional services. Then, after doing this all, he went back to home, back to God. So, what we should understand from this story? What is the prime Dharma he did to go back into Godhead? Savai pumsha paru dharmo yato bhakti radokshida. Ahitoki apretihata yayatma suprasidati. So, the supreme occupation or the supreme Dharma of all human beings is to attain the loving devotional service of the transcendental Lord. This is the supreme occupation of supreme Dharma. Then audience may get doubt. What is the supreme occupation or supreme Dharma? So, Abhay Chandra and the Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada have written one book named Dharma, the Way of Transcendence. In that introduction page, we can know the meaning of Dharma. There are two meanings of Dharma, nature and duty. So let's take nature. So nature means, see, every thing or human being have some nature. Every living organism or a thing have separate nature. So a unique quality which defines our existence is known as nature. So what is the nature of sugar? Sweetness. The nature of water is to quench our thirst. What is the nature of mango? To fill our stomach. These are the nature of the things which we use in our daily life. So the second meaning of dharma is duty. See, if many people have in this world duties, let's take teachers. Teachers have duty to teach. So if they feel good to teach, then only they can do it, or else they are not going to do it. So the essential characteristic, which is to render the loving service of the Lord, which I have quoted in the last verse, that should be our primary duty. Means to focus our attention on awakening our bhakti towards Krishna. That should be our primary duty. So focusing on loving devotional service is our primary duty. That is our real dharma. So I want to conclude it by saying dharmasya yapi vargasya nardo arjya upkalpate nardasya dharma khantasya kamo labhya smrtaha. So whatever we do in this material world, how much bhakti we do, how much we follow the four regulative principles, only for the ultimate liberation. Why we do this? Because we want to go back into Godhead. That's the ultimate liberation, ultimate goal of life. So we are following these four principles of Dharma, the four regulative principles, chanting the holy name, doing devotional service is only to gain the ultimate liberation, not for the material things. So I hope you all understood. And as Nimai Sundarji told, we are chanting these four pillars of Dharma every day in our pledge. So I request all of you to follow these four pillars of Dharma and attain ultimate liberation. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Venkat Prabhu, for like enlightening about this four pillars of Dharma. Indeed, it's very much needed actually, because Mahabharata says, "Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhir samana." If there is no dharma in one's life, he is just like an animal. Of course, it's very like harsh to say, but it's a truth, and one has to accept. Thank you. So a big Haribol for Venkat Prabhu, and I hope all the students of Bhaktivedanta Gurukula and International Schools are not simply going to say in the pledge in the morning, but they are going to stick on it. And that is the request of Srila Prabhupada actually, because we need people who can uphold Dharma and who can take Dharma ahead, because it is said, Dharma rakshati rakshitam. Anyone who protects Dharma, Dharma protects him. So if you want to be protected by Dharma always, please uphold Dharma. And what is the Dharma? Dharma in the age of Kali, standing on one leg. That is called truthfulness. So the devotee must be, and students must be very, very truthful. Okay, so in the same line, let us continue our speech competition further. We have Pavitra Prabhu also from 9th grade, and we have Manjunath Prabhu. We have Anurag Prabhu. So let's begin with Pavitra Prabhu, and after that Manjunath Prabhu, and then Anurag Prabhu, you be ready with your presentation. And then few more names: Hari Govind Prabhu, Purushottam Prabhu, Ashish Prabhu, Ananjay Prabhu. Yes, I request Pavitra Prabhu, please.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pavitra Das from grade 9. Today I'm going to present a speech on the topic of importance of Bharatwasi. India is a country of various religions. cultures, and different atmosphere. Besides all the countries of the world, India is not only the context of its culture, but it also has a
can
great and
turn on your
powerful platform
Pavitra
of
Prabhu. You can
economics.
turn on your video. Sorry to interrupt.
Krishna
you.
Prabhuji?
Please turn on your video. Please turn on your video. Your video is off.
The video. Okay.
At least for the speech. Yeah.
India is a country of various religion, cultures, and different atmosphere. Besides all the country of the world, India is very rich not only in the context of its culture, but it also has a great and powerful platform of economics. India is the culture hub of the world because of its ancient religion, history, size, diversity, and pollution. India is really an amazing country. It is also known as the center of Hindu civilization. There are many culture and religious sites, temple, monuments, etc., related to different religions and culture all over India. So, in fact, India has a glorious, magnificent culture ground. We all know that Mohenjo-daro is the right instance of India's glorious civilization. The houses and streets of the ancient city is very well managed and exists over 5,000 years ago. And even then, it was an old and well-developed civilization. There seemed to him something unique about the continuity of a culture tradition through 5,000 years of history, of evasion and upheaval, a tradition which was widespread among the people and powerful influenced them. India also has a great prestigious place in the field of mathematics. India is also known for having so much religion. They not only extend the cultural platform of India, but also gave the unity to it. The continuity of validity of Indian culture is amazing. Indeed, the Indus Valley civilization represents a very perfect adjustment of human life to specific environment that can only have resulted from years of patient effort. Thank you. Happy Republic Day, everyone.
Thank you so much for such a a short and sweet speech. We always remember the formula called KISS, KISS, means keep it short and simple. So Pavitra Prabhu, you very soon, in a very short time, you prepared a speech and presented to us. Thank you. A big Haribol for Pavitra. Hare Krishna. And I request Manjunath Prabhu, you can please share your views with us.
Prabhuji, Manjunath told is not coming.
Okay, if he's not here, I request Anurag Prabhu, please. And then after that, Ashish Prabhu, Dhananjay Prabhu, Vibhor Prabhu, they can also be ready. Hari Govind Prabhu, Sitanand and Arvind Prabhu is there, they can also come. So there's a few more participants. And yes, from 12th grade, Priyanshu Prabhu. So okay, so is he here? Anurag Prabhu? Anurag Gupta, you can unmute yourself.
Is there my name?
Yes, Abhiraj Prabhu. Yes, your name is there. I am sorry. You can be ready also.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yes, Anurag Prabhu. Yes, please. You start your video. Unmute yourself. Please unmute. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, and we are eager to hear.
Okay, Prabhu. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only the light can do it. Hare Krishna to all and everyone present here. I am Anurag Gupta of grade 11. I'm going to quote about. Sorry. Okay. Am I visible?
Yes, you're visible. That's why I request at least on your video.
Oh.
Yes.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only the light can do it. Hare Krishna to all and everyone present here. I am Anurag Gupta of grade 11, and I'm going to quote about the role of Bhagavad-Gita in an ideal citizen. So, whom we call an ideal citizen? A person who is leader, who is helpful, and he is punctual, isn't it? So, let's see what Chanakya says. He's a great economist, and we also know he's a political advisor. He says that yatha chaturvi karnakah parikshate nirghasanam chedanam तापताडनेन तथा चतुर्भिः पुरुषः परीक्षते शीलेन sorry, I think was it? Shuten Shilen Gunen Karmana. So what he is saying that just like to prove a gold is pure, it has to go with the process and verify by beating, rubbing, piercing, and heating. Similarly, a person will be called an ideal citizen only if he is charitable, well behaving, punctual. So if we like put light in Bhagavad Gita, how it plays an important role in an ideal citizen. So we know that Bhagavad Gita teaches that one should be sthita prajna, and he should not be distracted with the temporary situations like happiness and distress. He is never unbewildered by any change in material world. Matra sparsastu kaunteya sitosna sukha dukkhada agama paino nityas tam titikshasva bharata. Here, Lord Krishna is directing Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, the season like summer and winter is temporary. It will not be permanent. Similarly, the feeling of happiness and distress in human life is also short dated, temporary. It will come and go. Nothing will be permanent. So we can say that if our day is rising with distress, so we are sure about that our day will end with happiness. So if we are talking about Bhagavad Gita and an ideal citizen, how can we forget our great spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, who went to America even at the age of 70 and struggled with 2 heart attacks on Jaladuta, but never lost his hope and tried his best and turned hippies into happies. And now we see how the great reformation he has done to our world. So my friends, my teachers, and my classmates, I want to conclude my speech by saying that the whole world is filled with many poors, and poors not by money, not by lack of money, but by the lack of Krishna's blessing. So my request is to read Bhagavad Gita and spread the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita so that we can reduce the poverty in this material universe. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Anurag Prabhu. Hare Krishna. You know, very wonderfully telling about, this is indeed, required. And yes, we must, like remember, this struggle, like that. We're very grateful. We, like yesterday, I was also, sharing in the class. We should see, how much we are getting, We are so fortunate that, Srila Prabhupada, one man, who journeyed, from Vrindavan to America, and he created such a wonderful society for all of us. Like he created such a wonderful home where we all can live, can learn, can grow, and can share. Right. And especially like, the Gurukula is like so fortunate that in such a, like early age, not only you're getting this education, but you're, learning the real education. That's Bhagavad Dharma. And thank you for reminding Anurag Prabhu for all of us. I request Aviraj Prabhu. Yes, Aviraj Prabhu. Are you ready with your presentation? Speech? If he's not here, then we have the few more names.
A bit later, Prabhuji.
Ashish Prabhu, Dhananjay Prabhu, Purushottam Prabhu, Sitanand Prabhu, Arvind Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
are there any
later?
Okay, sure. Ashish is not here. Okay. Hari Govind Prabhu is not here. Okay. Dhananjay Prabhu is also not here. Okay. Priyanshu Prabhu from 12th grade. Are you here? Yes, we have Priyanshu Sani, 9th grade. But what about Priyanshu? Senior Priyanshu. Okay. So they were the participants. Manjunath Prabhu is not here. Krishna goes told. Okay. Purushottam Prabhu. Purushottam Prabhu is here. Like the one thing, in a speech company, it's equally important to speak, and it's also important to, hear from others, because when we hear from other devotees, we can also learn, like how they express themselves. Yes. Aryavardhan Prabhu, you gave for your name debate, no? Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, sure. Samir, Satvik, Shashwat, Shivan, Shri Krishna. I can see the names. Okay. So it's done. I request, like Anurag Prabhu has done already. Hari Govind Prabhu is not here. Purushottam Prabhu is here. Ashish Prabhu from 11th grade. Dhananjay Prabhu.
Not here. Not here.
Not here. Okay. And then, yes, then who left? Hari Govind is also not here. So, yes, Aviraj Prabhu, you have the chance. Like,
Only
Aviraj Prabhu, and after that, Priyanshu Prabhu from 12th grade. So, you are the last one. They are the two last one. In case if someone join. Yes, please, Aviraj Prabhu.
Rajiv Priyanshu of 11th grade is also not here.
Yes, 12th grade Priyanshu is also not here. So, okay, no problem. Aviraj Prabhu is the last, and then we will proceed to our another competition. That's a very interesting. That's a debate competitions, and you must be very much excited. To very good topics we are going to have, and let's see who speak. About what in favor and against. Okay, I'll disclose the topics after Aviraj Prabhu's speech. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Yes, Aviraj Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. By chance, is there anyone who would like to, speech just, like an extempore, instant speech? Yes, Aviraj Prabhu. Please turn on your video so you all can see you.
So, can I start, Prabhuji?
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna, everyone. And Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. I am Aviraj Singh of grade 11, and I am here to speak on the topic importance of Bhagavad Gita in lives of freedom fighters. Many of our outstanding freedom fighters took the spark and the simulation from Bhagavad Gita as it is, a universally accepted book of wisdom. Innumerable of them took news seemingly holding the Gita in their hands. In 1905, the Swadeshi movement started in Bengal, where 50,000 people, each holding the Bhagavad Gita in their hands, took to the streets, vowing to boycott the British goods and force the British out of India. Part 1. Gita inspires to be a fighter. Shri Aurobindo Ghosh, 1872 to 1950. He was one of the earliest and the greatest revolutionaries in Indian freedom struggle. He was a learned visionary and an enigmatic personality. According to him, India was subjected to colonization in the absence of dauntless and steel-nerved leaders who would take the risk and fight for the nation. He was of the firm belief that only way to freedom was through the release of individuals from their lower nature and transcending them into blissful divinity.
Yeah, very nice.
He reiterated the message of Bhagavad Gita in the elevation of India and salvation of humanity in his beautiful essay on Gita and its secrets. He said, a certain class of minds shrink from aggressiveness if it were a sin. It is an error we repeat to think that spirituality is a thing divorced from life. It is an error to think that heights of religion are above the struggles of his world. The recurrent cry of Sri Krishna to Arjun insists on the struggle, fight and overthrow thy opponents. Remember me and fight. Give up all thy works to me with a heart full of spirituality and free from craving, free from selfish claims. Fight. Let the fever of thy souls pass from thee. Part 2. The Bhagavad Gita, a spiritual dictionary by Mahatma Gandhi, 1896 to 1948. The mere mention of the name Mahatma Gandhi evokes the image of a great patriot who revolutionized the Indian freedom struggle through matchless weapons of non-violence and satyagraha. Verily, of this great personality as well, the source of great and stout-heartedness was the Bhagavad Gita. He writes, I find a solace in Bhagavad Gita that I miss even in the Sermon on the Mount. When disappointment stares me in the face of all alone, I see not one of ray of light. I go back to Bhagavad Gita. I find a verse here and verse there, and I immediately begin to smile in the midst of overwhelming tragedy. My life has been full of external tragedies, and if they have left no visible or indelible scar on me, I owe it all to the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you all so much. Aviraj Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Yes. So now the time has come, to move to another competitions. That's a debate competitions, and it's a very interesting topic. You all know the topic is what? That's related to you. Youth is meant for enjoyment,
Not enlightenment.
or enlightenment. So, from 9th and 11th grade, few students, took their, give their name. I just say, I'll just read out their name. If they are present, then, please say yes, and also say in which side they are going to speak. Are they going to speak in favor about that topic? Yes, youth is meant for enjoyment. What can we enjoy in old age, where senses are weak and poor, and not in childhood when we don't have that much of freedom. So, but in youth, we have the energy and freedom, and yes, we can enjoy. So they can just still, some of the gentlemen thinks that no, youth is not actually meant for enjoyment. Youth is meant for enlightenment. Yes, some people, because like what you do today, that makes your tomorrow future. So we have Sashwat Prabhu, Pranav Prabhu, Shubham, Aryavardhan, Parth, Manjunath Prabhu, Ronak Prabhu from 9th grade. They are going to speak about, they are going to say something about. So, and then Anurag, Aviraj, Radharaman, Dhananjay, Vayun, and Vibhor. So I can request, all 11th grade students, they can just WhatsApp to your friends because they are not there. And yeah, wait, Shivan, I'm coming to you. And and they can say that, yes, the debate is about to happen. I think Shri Krishna also wants to participate in debate. So I, Pravan Prabhu, and can message him, so you can just speak, in which side you want to speak. So I am reading out the name. Yes, Shivansh, would you like to participate in debate?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nice, actually. And there are many more. I can read out the name. Pranjal is here. Priyanshu is here. Satvik is here. Shri Krishna is here. Okay. Okay. Anurag Gotapraji, actually, I have written my debate in Hindi. No problem, Hindi or English. You can just translate and can speak. Okay. And Venkat Prabhu is there. So you have a choice. You can remain participant and can enjoy the wonderful discussion by the group of, two teams. And to devotees, and also you can participate. So Shashwat, are you going to speak in favor or against the topic?
Prabhuji, what do
Prabhuji,
the topic is youth meant for enjoyment. You just have to give your opinion.
Haribol Prabhuji.
Youth is meant for enjoyment. I would like to go against the statement that youth is meant for enjoyment.
Okay, against Pranav, say he is not going to participate.
Prabhuji, I'm also going against.
Ronak is going against. Okay, Manjunath is here. No?
Prabhuji, I am also going against.
Okay, just wait. Okay, Aviraj also says yes, youth meant for enjoyment. And okay, who said? Ronak Advani. Krishna Ghosh, what do you say? You are.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
No,
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I am saying that youth is made for enlightenment.
Okay, then you are going to speak in against.
Favor, Prabhuji.
Okay, topic is youth meant for enjoyment. This is a favor.
Yes,
Yes. Or youth meant for enlightenment. That is called against. I don't know. Am I confusing? Youth is meant for enjoyment, not enlightenment.
Confused.
Okay. How many of you think that you are going to say yes, youth meant for enjoyment? That means favor. And
yeah, Prabhuji, understood. I mean against.
Or somebody who say no, it is meant for
against.
Somebody is it is meant for enlightenment. Then it means he's going speaking in that side.
Aryavardhan is in favor.
Okay, so Sashwat, you are going to speak in favor.
No, Prabhuji, against.
But you want to say that youth meant for enlightenment.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Ronak
okay.
also.
Ronak also wants to say. Aviraj also wants to say. Okay, fine. Shri Krishna. Parth also, you say enlightenment. Okay, okay. Shri Krishna, you say?
Prabhuji,
Actually,
I want to for enlightenment. For
Okay, if
enlightenment.
everybody will speak in against,
Roji,
and who
I
will
am
speak in
in
favor?
favor.
Prabhuji, Aryavardhan is speaking for.
Roji,
Aryavardhan is speaking for.
Roji, I'm in favor with the sentence. Roji.
Youth meant for enjoyment, Aryavardhan, is it?
yes.
Okay,
Somebody should
thank
Yeah,
go
you.
bro.
against.
And
Somebody should
also,
be in
Prabhuji,
favor of it, right? Everybody
Anurag
goes
Bhaiya.
against. There'll be no debate.
For.
Anurag is also saying youth meant for enjoyment. Very good. Okay, who else is saying? We have like you can message to Radharaman, Dhananjay, Vayun, and Vibhor in case they have not joined.
Prabhuji, I guess Shri Krishna.
Shri Krishna Prabhu is also saying youth meant for
Prabhu,
enjoyment.
actually, the thing is, we all know the truth that youth is actually meant for enlightenment, but just for the debate to go on, I'll be speaking for a debate.
No, see, like, it's not, like, if you see the life of, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can prove one statement at the same time and he can reject
Yeah, bro.
by giving a logic. You just have to, like, put a strong logic. Prabhupada said in this world, actually, that, like, you may be a logician, you can put one logic.
Yes, Prabhuji.
If
Okay,
a greater
I'll be
logician,
speaking
you can
Controversy.
Okay,
So we
youth is
just-
meant for enjoyment. I'll speak for that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. We like less members are there. So is there anyone who would like to say yes, youth meant for enjoyment? Why not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. Aviraj also changed the party like Yuyutsu. Okay. Very nice. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Is there anyone from the participant?
Prabhuji, I am speaking in favor. Youth is meant for enjoyment. I'm speaking in
Oh, wow. So now, the team has become equal. Just like Bhishma joined the side of Kauravas, knowing very well that Krishna is my worshipable Lord. And just like, Lord Shiva always joins the join the other side, just to make, the teams equal. So similarly, it's a great move done by, like in favor. Yes, because we all know you are students of Gurukula.
First I took the risk.
Okay, so we have now equal peoples 5-5. Okay, but before proceeding, I would like to request from our, Ajay Prabhu is an English teacher who can, speak a few words and can, enlighten something about, what exactly is debate, in which manner you people should proceed. Ajay Prabhu, please say something about debate.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Actually, I was just hearing everyone and wonderful words you all have showered upon. So I mean to say that whatever the things we hear, these are the things to be implemented. These are not the things to be heard. Since beginning till this point, every word actually is the quite divine word. Actually, that is the experienced word. Actually, these words come with the core of the heart, and that's why they were written in some books, Gita and different other Vedic books. So, Vedic literatures and Vedic cultures, these are to be followed. And as far as the debate is concerned, students actually are willingly giving the names to some favor and some are against. So, because this is not the thing that the students already know, the enlightenment should be there, but still they are coming to the side so that they can just balance it off nicely. So I want that one time Nimai Sundar Prabhu should confirm the names once again, those who are in favor and those who are against, so that the student should be confirmed that we are in favor and we are against. And students should copy down the logics in their notebooks. Directly, nobody will speak, and you can just cut off the point. There is no need to speak, listen to the whole lecture of some student. If somebody you find wrong in his statement, then you can just put him on hold for some time, and you can speak like this. Hold on, please. Hold on, like this. This word you can speak from your side. Hold on, excuse me, hold on. So this actually interruption I want from every side. If you don't interrupt, then the other student will keep on speaking, and you are not the listener, you are a debater, and you are present here for debate. So keep writing your points separately so as to put them forward at the right time. So Nimai Sundar Prabhu, can you tell me the names of the students, confirmed names?
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So here we have a list of students who are going to speak in favor, means they feel that yes, youth is meant for enjoyment. So here we have the Aryavardhan, we have Anurag Prabhu, and we have the, yes, Shri Krishna Prabhu. We also have Aviraj, and yes, we have Sashwat Prabhu. So in that, these 5 students are really going to strongly, defend that yes, youth is meant for enjoyment. There is another, team of devotees, okay, who are going to speak in against. They are saying no, no, no. Youth is not meant for enjoyment, but it is meant for enlightenment. And yes, here we have the Ronak Prabhu, he was going to put, and we have Parth Prabhu, and we have Shivansh Prabhu, we have Shubham Prabhu also, Shubham Naidu Prabhu, and we have Krishna Ghosh Prabhu also. So Shubham Naidu, Krishna Ghosh Prabhu, Pranav had some work, he didn't join. And yes, and okay. Is Radharaman Prabhu is there? Dhananjay Prabhu, Vayun and Vibhor, if they are there, they can also join. Okay, and then anybody else from the participant side, Venkat Prabhu and other, would you like to be the part of this debate?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
I'm specifically requesting from 11th graders, like Abhyuday Sharma Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Which side you would like to be? Yes, Abhyuday Shukla Prabhu. Abhyuday Prabhu. Yes. You want to speak?
Yes, Prabhu. Means
against?
No, Prabhu. Means in support of no, against means I want to speak with
you feel that yes, youth is meant for enlightenment. You say Abhyuday Sharma Prabhu from 12th grade. Okay, so this is the final list, like a last call, just like Yudhishthir Maharaj. When the conches were blown, still Yudhishthir Maharaj went forward, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and he said, like, is there anyone who still would like to come to our side? So you can also request to your friends, is there anyone who would like to join our party? And then you can happily join our party. And then I request Ajay Prabhu, so please continue. Anyone, is there anyone who would like to be the part of this great discussion, which is a very hot topic? Yes, I'm hearing some responses. Yes, yes, please. No one? Okay, thank you. Thank you all so much. Yes, okay, if somebody is on fire. Who is on fire? Okay, it's a heat. Yes, it's a cold. Yes, Ajay Prabhuji, please proceed. And so we can start.
Yeah, Hare Krishna everyone. So in support, Aryavardhan, Anurag, Aviraj and Sri Krishna and Shashwat are there. Shashwat, you are in support. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And enlightenment, Ronak, Shivansh, Parth, Shubham, Naidu, Krishna Ghosh and Abhyodaya. So I'm just taking up the start. There should be no silence during the debate. First of all, you need to put your point forward. You should note down the points in your notebook, because without points nobody is allowed to speak. Note down the point, what actually you want to put forward. So first of all, the students, those who are favoring, they need to put their point forward. How you can say that enjoyment is required for the youth. Youth say life is meant for enjoyment. So what sort of enjoyment actually youth are entitled to have? Come on, put your point forward. Anurag and Shashwat.
Roji, can we start with introduction?
Yes, please. But there should be no silence during the debate. Whatever is the introduction or anything else you want to just put forward, put it forward. When some party is unable to speak, then other party would keep on speaking. Or in the mid also you can speak, interrupting the other party or other student.
First, let them start the forward.
Thank you, Ajay Prabhu. I think let us hear from Shri Krishna. You have some query, you are raising the hand. Yes.
Can I start?
Okay, will say and Krishna Ghosh. Yes. Okay. So Ajay Prabhu is saying, it's like a debate. You don't have to wait for anyone, but at least, don't make a fish market here. Yes. So I request, Krishna Ghosh and Shri Krishna, you all can start.
Okay, so Hare Krishna, here I am Krishna Ghosh from my team of Against, where we are against the topic youth is meant not for enjoyment but for enlightenment. So here is my introduction. So as we know in this world, everything is not too much low, too much high. So we can consider here not too much enjoyment needed, but at the same time not too much less is needed. Everything should be balanced. So here even enlightenment is needed, even enjoyment, but both should be in limit. Not should be over limit and not should be under limit too.
No, Krishna Ghosh, you can't favor both the points. You have to favor only one point. You should just go for the side of enlightenment. You have to oppose the point that is enjoyment. Okay?
Yes, Krishna.
Okay, so I am strongly opposing the point that enjoyment shouldn't be there. As we know from our childhood, our parents and other well-wishers strive to live and try to maintain happiness and prosperity in our family. And what is the reason they do so much hard work from the childhood only? Why were parents force us to study? Why do they do this? Because for our good future, so that we become genuine from all the aspects when we grow up. And that is achieved from only practicing from early stages. For example, when we are baby or when we are born, our mom dad they take care till the age we are not we can't stand on our leg fully. So whatever mom and dad do, they try teaching us good things from the childhood only. Why don't they tell us to enjoy from starting?
But without enjoyment, they cannot understand it.
Pardon, can you please repeat?
But without enjoyment, they cannot understand. The enjoyment gives them understanding that how should they grow.
So how can they understand how to study, right? Even they, if they don't understand how to enjoy, then how can they study
In
too?
study also, we need enjoyment.
So here we can say you are okay. You are telling that they can understand how to enjoy. Okay. So let's take a baby when it grows to 5 years old. Why don't we suggest them to fully enjoy? Not no reason to study. Just take money and enjoy the life. Why don't they do that?
Excuse me, we're talking about youth is meant for enjoyment, not the baby age. So if you could
I'm taking an example so that I can oppose the point of Aryavardhan. So can anybody
Actually,
answer
you
why
started, so I interrupt
practice
in this.
for enlightenment?
Yes, Satvik,
But this
Satvik Prabhu, you
question,
can also be in the side.
in the life of Lord Buddha, he did not have even to worry about getting any knowledge. He enjoyed his life until a particular age. Then it was a very, a very incidental case that he got to see some sights and then he went away. And later on in his life, he got enlightenment. In his youth, he enjoyed, and he is the Lord. So Lord is setting the example that you should enjoy the youth, and later on you can get enlightenment.
But that
Hold on.
My
Let me
research,
speak.
sure.
according to
Yeah.
research, according to research, many of the great scholars in the past, they were enjoying in their youth. Later on, they did many great works. Leonardo da Vinci is one classic example. He did not have money to go to get any knowledge. He was enjoying his youth. And later, he's a great painter. He's a great thinker. Later, you can get enlightenment. No problem. Youth is meant for enjoyment. One philosophy in ancient India, it says that in your youth, you enjoy. Let your parents take your care. You enjoy. You take taxes. You take loan from other and you drink ghee. It's very costly. You drink ghee and you take. I have not remember the verse completely. It's a verse. Youth is meant for enjoyment. You see, 70% of the employees in Google, 80% of the employees in Microsoft, they did not even touch books until they were at least of the age of 28. Researches show that they were enjoying their youth, and
Very
today they are
nice.
salaries in Google, in Microsoft.
Mm.
Mark Zuckerberg, he wasn't at all focused on his studies. He was enjoying his youth. He was working on his laptop, and
Hold
he
on.
has a platform as Facebook.
But after
Yes.
speaking, hold on, you have to continue taking the name of the other student. Like this,
Yes.
my dear brother Shashwat, like this, you have to interrupt
So,
like this.
so Shashwat, let me proceed. Like,
Can we?
first you want to understand, like, what is enjoyment? Bhogaishvara pasaktanam taya paratachethasham vyasatmika buddhi samadhavana vidyate. Bhoga. Bhog means enjoyment of life. Enjoyment wants enjoyment. This Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita 2.44. Who does not want enjoyment? But no enjoyment. Why is it that? Because pure life, pure constitution made up of enjoyment, so demands for enjoyment naturally. It's not unnatural. But the process of enjoyment is. Therefore, we do not get complete satisfaction by the material enjoyment. Enjoyment is your birthright because you're a
excuse me,
spirit soul,
brother.
spirit soul.
Pardon
So
me,
this
brother.
Prabhupada enlightens and Bhagavad Gita strongly says that. So like this is gonna be long. So anyone has that point in between
Okay,
to
hold that
say?
point, hold that thought. We still didn't reach the stage of deciding which is material and spiritual enjoyment. It's not necessary that we're supposed to actually do material enjoyment and break all the regulative principles. You can still have enjoyment with even uh, following all the regulative
Now
principles and
you're
not
against
having
that
physical
enjoyment.
reactions.
We are
Yeah.
talking about material enjoyment here.
No,
A
it's not
spiritual,
mentioned. The topic, it's not mentioned whether it's material or spiritual. It's just general. It's a generic term, enjoyment.
Yeah, enjoyment can be also in spiritual, but that's another topic. Let's finish this one point which Shashwat says now.
Hold
As
on a minute.
Shashwat said that all the successful people they enjoyed in their youth. One more example is Steve Jobs, who's the founder of the Apple company. There's a multi-billionaire company today. He hardly had any food, and he walked like 7 miles every weekend to get a Hare Krishna meal, and he still enjoyed his life during his youth. That's what he's saying. Steve Jobs still enjoyed his life as a youth. Joshua is not saying that you do smoking and all such nuisance activities to enjoy. You can also enjoy by having prasadam. You can also enjoy by doing the sankirtan. You can also enjoy by offering all your actions to the Lord. We didn't say that we have to break regulative principles to enjoy, right? Did we say that? We didn't say that.
And also, Ronak,
Like
hold
to
on. Hold on. Let me please take my point. In Bhagavatam 9th canto, there comes a story of a king to whom Shukracharya had cursed that
You
your
can
youth,
directly join Abhyuday.
if you want to
Yes,
enjoy,
yes.
You don't have to wait for anyone.
you need to take the youth from any other person. One of his sons had declined to give his youth. You know what he stated? He stated that he thought that if I do not enjoy in my youth, then how can I meditate on the Lord in my old age? That means old age is meant for, God realization, for enlightenment. Youth,
Actually, but in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj says a 5 years old means from 5 years old we should have to start bhakti. If we will join youth, then the roots of this material enjoyment become more deep. Then how will
We can do bhakti
we
by
do it?
enjoying also.
Okay, but at the same time, we know your death is near. So death can come anytime. So for example, you're enjoying now. Okay.
sure, you
You
will not
can't
get
live
any
in fear.
joy.
You can't live in fear. You have to live freely.
You
Live
have
your
a
life freely.
By
sense.
enjoying, we
Every
can
If we
do
want
second.
to
this
live our
also.
life freely,
Okay,
like
that is why I'm saying enjoy in the youth. Because in the youth, if you enjoy, then
Hmm.
then you will not regret at the time of the death that I did not enjoy.
No, but at the same time, just like Abudya Bhaiya told, that when you enjoy, your roots become stronger. Whenever you are practicing something, the roots grab it very fast. Just like when you're watching TV, when your mom tells close the TV now, but our mind says no, let's watch 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more. That means mind is attracting you more and more, more and more. So when you're enjoying in the youth, how can you stay in old age when you are having so many problems, diabetes and vagera vagera? So in that age, with the help of
Hare
how
Krishna.
will you
Actually, we have the
Yeah.
example of a Microsoft
Excuse me over
Office.
here. The International Society of Krishna Consciousness, which was introduced by Prabhupada, there's something
Yes.
called folk. There's something called a folk. A folk is an association which is meant for youth. It's where the devotees who are at the age from like 16 to 25 at the age of youth, they enjoy their lives by doing devotional service. So nobody said that you have to watch TV to enjoy or you have to do anything else. The folk was specifically created for the youngsters to enjoy Krishna consciousness by Prabhupada. Are you going to say anything against that?
okay, yeah, this is because this is Prabhupada took this step because of the environment.
Other participants can also turn on their video. Please turn on their video so that we can be
See,
clear
this
on
is
spot.
because of the environment. Prabhupada wanted to create a comfortable environment so that people get attracted towards them. See, if you've seen Goddess Sampradaya, people not usually apply the trick which Prabhupada did. He tried to attract the hippies so that in fun way they come and they get attracted because this is Kali Yuga. Just like Shastra told that people,
Yeah, that is also enjoyment. That is also enjoyment.
where people they tell that in young they want to enjoy, but not all the people are
For
having
getting
IQ level, they're not having the same mentality. So how can you stay the same person? For example, I and Shashwat, if he's doing something, that doesn't mean that even I will do. For my capability, I will do something else. So if he's telling that in young age I want to enjoy, and afterwards I can do bhakti or I can go for enlightenment, but that doesn't apply that everybody can do this. For example, Ramchandra, you can take example.
Ramchandra is God, you're not God.
Krishna Ghosh, you are not completely correct. If a person has to enjoy, he will enjoy. How can you stop him? And later, if he has to become Krishna conscious, how can you stop him? If he has to
yeah, hold on. Let me
Okay.
speak
So,
once.
but actually, when we see there are so many fall down of even many great devotees also.
Ajamil,
So many fall
one
down.
example just
I
shown now.
said enjoyment because enjoyment doesn't
No,
enable
no,
you to break regulative principles. You can still
no,
follow regulative principles and
no, no,
enjoy.
no, 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 no.
When I spoke about folk,
Enjoyment.
have you heard of
No, no, no. This
folk?
is not
You know what
perfect,
folk
na?
is? Have you heard of folk? No, answer my question. Do you know what folk is? You know what folk is?
Very good, Sri Krishna. Very good. And address the students by their
Understand?
names. Continue. All the students, please continue. Interrupt.
Yeah,
In all sampradayas, if you study, the enjoyment is the biggest cause of fall down.
Have you heard of the
Even
association
after
called
becoming
folk?
sannyasi.
It is
No,
not.
Have you heard of folk? You know what
first
folk
answer
means?
my question.
Abhyudaya, complete.
Yes, Prabhu, I'm just asking a question that if enjoyment, youth is meant for enjoyment, then how, means even every sampradaya, even in Udupi Matha, there are so many sannyasas who fell down. Why? Because
And before Srila Prabhupada went to the Western world, there were
Answer this
many
question. Answer
sannyasis.
this question.
There were many sannyasis which fell down while during spreading their mission. And
That's why you
US.
enjoy following the regulative principles. So sannyasis
No. Because they have enjoyed in youth so much, their root becomes so deep.
Even Prahlad Maharaj states in Bhagavatam,
to start bhakti.
Abhidavya, I'm saying that if some sannyasis who had enjoyed in the previous life again got a desire to enjoy, that they fell down, then why didn't everyone other fall down? Because they had also enjoyed in previous life. They should have also.
Krishna also enjoyed. Lord Krishna also enjoyed.
Yes.
Why didn't
No, you cannot compare Krishna with us, na? Krishna is Lord. Why? How you going to compare Krishna
But
with us?
we are his children, right? If our father
Listen,
can enjoy, why can't you enjoy?
are you having the quality with Krishna?
Different kind of enjoyment.
We are qualitatively one with Lord. A drop of ocean and the entire ocean. We are like that.
You
We
are
are
qualitatively
qualitatively one
one,
with Lord. We are all. We are in
Krishna Bhai, I'm having question. See, just like you told that, like many gods, you gave many examples. Like Shashwat also gave for Buddha. So here Krishna is also telling in 5.22, who are the intelligent, don't take this misery and don't handle this. This is because they know in the big there is soon in pleasures of this there is a soon beginning and end. So here you how are you comparing yourself with Krishna? This because Krishna's enjoyment, so it doesn't mean that you also enjoy.
Please don't target any particular god, because the topic is youths. Target youths, because youths actually are youths are for enjoyment, and youths are not for enjoyment. Actually, they are for enlightenment. This is the topic.
Yes.
We are not discussing any god. We are discussing youths and their life.
Abhidavya, you said that sannyasis, if they enjoy, they follow. But you cannot take that in the youth age. It is the age of 15 to 25. So sannyasi will not come in this. The age is not like if we do kirtan also we enjoy. So we cannot take that enjoyment.
So that's the
Exactly, as you
enlightenment.
said, even
Kirtan is an
Kirtan is a form of
enlightenment.
enjoyment. That's why Prabhupada created the Association of Folk in the
Yeah, that
International Society of
association.
Krishna
Yeah,
Consciousness.
the folk
You can still
association
enjoy by
was
doing
here.
Kirtan, by having prasadam, by chanting the Lord's holy name, by dancing
What
for
did
him, singing
Prabhupada
for him,
say?
performing drama.
Anurag and Aviraj are quite inactive. Anurag and Anurag and Aviraj are quite inactive.
Yeah, like it's I'm feeling like fight. I don't think
No
that
fight is there. Put your point forward. This is debate.
Just a
Anurag, put
conversation.
your point forward.
So here's my question to Shri Krishna Bhaiya, that if you're telling that see we can enjoy, so there's my question. If you want to enjoy by kirtan, so are you getting really enjoyed by kirtan? Because this is Maya. So it will attract you more towards Maya, not being attracted towards
Kirtan is not Maya. Kirtan is not
We are not
Maya.
talking about Maya. We are talking about.
Listen, let me complete my sentence. See here, अगर हम देखा जाए तो यहाँ पर माया हमें ज्यादा
English, please. I don't think not so fluent in Hindi.
No, you can just go on.
Sankirtan movement with Maya. Listen me completely. I am comparing enjoyment of Maya and the enjoyment of Sankirtan. Here, if you're telling that you're getting enjoyment,
We are talking about yours.
see, we are not sannyasis that will get fully enjoying. We will fully enjoy with Krishna. We will go like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Why can't we? We are dancing. We are
Exactly, that's what
singing
Chaitanya
Kirtan for
Mahaprabhu
God.
wanted. He spread the Sankirtan movement to the world. That is the goal of Krishna consciousness, to spread
Right, but
Sankirtan.
because of the mind, you usually get attracted towards the Maya objects too. For example, take Ajamila as example. Now, the biggest example is Ajamila. He was such an devotee. He was falling brahmachari, but
If
Everyone is not Ajamila. Everyone is not Ajamila.
Parth,
sticking to one personality.
Hare Krishna, Parth, Shivansh, Anurag and Aviraj. No points are coming from your side. Parth, again I am just alerting you. Anurag, Aviraj, Parth and Shivansh.
Hare Krishna, at the time when he said about Lord Buddha, his message.
Krishna Ghosh, you're telling that Ajamila.
Let Abhyuday complete. Let Abhyuday complete.
Please, Aryavardhan, please.
Abhyuday, what is question?
Yes, yes. My question is, Prabhu, actually, in the history of the Vedic culture, there are two Buddhas. One Buddha is Sakya Buddha, and second one is the Buddha's incarnation of Vishnu. But even in the Sakya Buddha, what he concluded, Nirvana, okay, Nirvana, and his philosophy was Sunyavad. But even after his at the time when he just realized all these things, Nirvana and Sunyavad and all, what means their conclusion is, if we know these things at the beginning of life, then we will be liberated. So youth is not meant for enjoyment; it is for enlightenment.
Yes, Anurag, what do you mean? What do you want to
1
say?
minute.
Everyone
There
is
is a
enjoying.
point.
Animals are also
1 minute,
enjoying.
please. If we enjoy the whole youth, means our teenage, then if we enjoy, waste our time to enjoy, then well, we will improve ourselves. Can you
But
understand?
you are favoring enjoyment,
Instead of
na?
speaking about
Indra,
enlightenment,
Abhiraj,
are
you
you
are
calling
favoring
for
enjoyment.
enlightenment? Do you implement enlightenment? Do you wake up
we
every
can
day
get
at 4:30?
enlightenment
Do you
by
chant 16
enjoying
rounds?
also.
Are you implementing what you're saying? Are you implementing what you're saying?
Nice point.
At the same time, even you're not implementing what you said, this is
I
because
am enjoying my life.
Correct.
I am enjoying my life. I am implementing. I'm enjoying my
We
life.
can get enlightenment by enjoying also. Arun.
you are telling that in Sankirtana we can there we can enjoy, but at the same time you usually get attracted towards Maya. Why do you play?
We are not
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Going to IT lab.
if we are not implementing, then we are trying to implement. Na, it is good. It is better than not just implementing, but we are trying to implementing. Na, we are not perfect. Actually, you are not perfect.
Nope.
The people who are enjoying are even more worse than the people who are trying. At least the people who are trying for enlightenment, it is better than the people who are enjoying.
Hold on for a minute. See, if you always keep on saying that I want to get enlightenment, you will eventually come under pressure, under depression. But if you enjoy something, gradually that enjoyment will lead you to enlightenment. Example.
Yes, let me.
What is the meaning of
Wait a
enlightenment?
second. Wait a second.
What
By
is
studying,
enlightenment?
you will
Shashwat.
not understand anything and you will forget
Enjoyment in
everything.
the form of Harinam Sankirtan. That was music to them. They enjoyed it. He gave them gulab jamun, a sweet that they relished it. It was sweet for them. It was enjoyment for them. And gradually from the enjoyment came enlightenment. Therefore, youth is for enjoyment.
How do you think Prabhu? Yeah, I agree with Shashwat. How do you think Prabhupada spread Krishna consciousness to hippies? Hippies, literally, they're on drugs. They do all
By
the
enjoyment.
they violate regulative principles. How do you think he got them on bhakti?
It is
He
possible
initially
you
gave
can
them
go.
enjoyment. He initially gave them
Okay,
enjoyment by
okay.
giving this kirtan and all.
Again,
So
you are
he made
diverting the
hippies
topic.
dance.
Okay,
He
So
made
I
please,
hippies
agree.
dance.
take
You
the
know what
topic
hippies
back
are?
to the youth.
Krishna.
Give some points. Hare Krishna,
Hare
give some
Krishna.
points, students. Why you are not giving points indicating the
Hare
youth?
Krishna.
You are not targeting youths. You are taking the point again to the gurus and gods. So come to
Hare
the
Krishna.
point.
Your both
Anurag,
points,
In the
both
youth,
the points of your both are
enjoyment
very good.
will lead to enlightenment. In the youth, you enjoy. Gradually,
Okay,
it will lead to
Shashwat,
Raviji, can I give a point?
your point is good,
yes,
but
Shivansh,
actually,
yes. Shivansh, please. And Anurag, it doesn't matter कि you are indirectly favoring enlightenment. You have not put
Hare
forward
Krishna.
any points from your side.
Hare Krishna.
It means you have surrendered and you are favoring enlightenment.
Raviji, the point I'm giving is if one is
Anurag, am I
enlightened.
audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Why you are not speaking? It means you are silent and without any reason you have your name is in this side and you wanted to speak from the side of enlightenment. Why you are not favoring enjoyment?
Prabhuji, I was waiting for my turn.
No, it is not the time to wait. It is the time to speak from your side. What
It's the
actually your
time to
point of
fight.
view is, this
Raviji,
everybody wants to hear. Shivansh, yes,
Yes.
continue. Shivansh,
Uh,
continue.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
If
Yeah,
one is
yeah.
enlightened and intelligent, one is able to identify risks at much earlier in life.
So are you
And
intelligent? Are you able to identify the risks in your life?
even
Answer the
the
question,
without
Shivansh.
enjoyment.
Answer the question of Sri Krishna.
So are you enlightened? Are you able to identify the risks in your life?
yes.
What are your risks
Yes.
in your life?
Without enjoying, you are understanding everything.
What is bad for us? What is risky? What is not risky? Please tell. if you are so much enlightened in the youth?
Anurag is still waiting. What actually your point of view is? I want to listen to you. What do you want to say? What sort of enjoyment the youth
Yes.
should be indulged in?
Okay,
Yes,
Prabhuji. But
yes,
see, I don't think that enjoyment is only happiness in our life. But we can say that one is also enjoying their pain as enjoyment. And if we compare enjoyment to spiritualistic or like a practical world, we can say that enjoyment in our practical world is out of our burden. Like we see when we were in children, like our parents and our teachers were taking care of us, isn't it? So if when they were taking care of us, they were directing us. They were saying that this should be followed, this must not be followed. This is good, this is bad. But like from
Abhyuday
that
Bhaiya, you can
time,
continue your point.
They were enjoying.
actually the thing is that you are asking about means are you enlightened or not? Yes.
If you are not enlightened, why are you speaking about it?
Yeah. Good question. It's not good. It's not bad. The question is perfect. The answer is
Why your
actually
silent voice? Put your point and a new
No,
point
Prabhuji, let
forward. New
Abhyuday
point
Bhaiya
forward
complete
for the
his point.
justification of your point.
Yeah, let him
actually the
answer. Let
thing
him
is
answer.
that
Yeah, let him answer
we
that.
are enlightening. We are enlightening.
Anurag,
That's why we
continue.
are following.
Who are you enlightening?
we need to listen to others.
No.
We are
Youth is
enlightening. That's
first
why we are putting
enjoying.
tilak on our head. We are enlightening. That's why we are chanting every day. This is a step
No.
process.
Without in mind, if
If you are okay,
enjoyment will come
the
like
same
this,
question if I
you
ask,
have to
the
chant,
same
then only we
question if
will
I
chant.
ask,
Then only
I say that means he enter, they he means the Hare Krishna Kirtan, their enjoyment and enlightenment comes. If it is like that, can I will give you one beer bottle. You can go to youths and just spread Krishna consciousness. Can you able to do that?
Exactly. That's why you need enjoyment first. You, if
No,
you
no, no,
listen, if you
no.
tell to a typical
So okay. So
17-year-old
are you
teenager,
agree?
a
Are
typical
you agree with
17-year-old
me?
teenager, say,
So are
"Welcome
you
to
agree with
Bhakti,
me?
Answer
Bhakti
the
Swami
question
Are you
first,
Aswami
good?
Ranam."
boys.
Nobody
First,
will
Abhyuday,
be
let
ready.
them
answer
answer
Nobody
the.
is
us.
ready to renounce their things.
No. Are you agree with me?
Then you will able to
Means
get enlightened and then spread enlightenment about those
Exactly.
principles.
Go to a
I'm just
17-year-old
asking
person and ask,
question.
go to a
Boys, whom you are
17-year-old
talking to?
non-devotee and
Whom you
ask
are
him to
talking
chant
to?
Hare
Sri
Krishna.
Krishna.
They're
Sri
not going
Krishna,
to do
take the
it.
name of
They're
the
not
student
going to
whom
do
you
it.
are talking to.
Nobody's going to chant Hare Krishna. The first time you just go walk up to them and say, say chant Hare Krishna. You need to first gradually build the enjoyment and why is it fun to chant Hare Krishna. You
Actually, I'm
start with
asking now.
Sankirtan, you
Can
start with
you do that?
Prasadam, you start with the
Can you
visiting
do
the
that?
holy dhams.
Can
You
you do
don't
that?
just directly go and ask, give them
Can you do
enlightenment.
that?
Really enjoy. If you want to
That's
really
what preaching is about. That's what
No,
folk member
no.
is about.
Address the other
Folk
person by
membership is
name.
about
Without name,
preaching.
you can't continue. Whom you are talking to? First of all, take the
Okay,
name of the person.
I think the last 2 minutes,
every time, why do you
last 2 minutes, like those that are in
Abhayadhyuk,
favor, those that are in
Abhayadhyuk Shukla.
against, they can just
Sri
keep their
Krishna, if
points.
we increase our so-called enjoyment of the
Ronak,
body.
please, 1 minute, Ronak, please. Ronak.
Ronak, continue,
Don't
continue.
leave,
Ronak,
Anurag. Just
continue.
wait for 5 minutes.
So if
Ronak,
we increase,
Ronak,
then
and
shall we become more entangled in this
1 minute, please.
conditional life of this material
Shaswat,
existence?
wait.
If you really want to have freedom from this
Enjoyment
material
always precedes
existence
enlightenment.
All
If
of
you
us
and
are
miseries of
conditioned
material,
souls. All of us are
Without
conditioned souls.
enjoyment, you
ask
cannot
him,
bring your enlightenment
ask him
out.
to go to the temple and bow to the deity, you have to first tell him the benefits. You have to make him enjoy before you can
Okay,
enlighten him.
so
You
okay,
can't force
Hare
somebody to get
Krishna, Hare
enlightened.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
We're all
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Satchidananda
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
So let's have a conclusion. Like it's a really, enthusiastic, like debate. So those they were, speaking in favor. I just request, just give 1 or 2 points, very, coolly, one by one. And those they were speaking, in against, they can also put another like point
I'll
one
say the
point
first
after
point
the
for
discussion.
favor
Just
also.
wait for my instruction. Like if you say that youth is meant for enjoyment, why? Just give a 1 or 2 point, and this is just like a conclusion of this debate.
Yeah, can I?
And those they were speaking in against, they can also give it. Yes. So let us start with
Can I?
first those they were speaking in favor. Why youth is meant for enjoyment?
See,
Yes.
Yeah,
Prabhu,
Prabhuji.
point number one is youth is meant for enjoyment because it is when all of us are energetic and enthusiastic, and we are all part and parcel of the Lord. We are part of this Satchidananda Vigraha. So our soul is meant for blissful knowledge. It hankers for enjoyment, and we have
Thank
to
you.
make sure it's the right type of enjoyment. The point number two is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also non-different from Lord Krishna. His mission was to spread Sankirtan movement to the world. His mission was to bring people into Krishna consciousness. So how did he do that? He went through towns, he spread the Sankirtan movement. And why do you think people joined him? People are not sages to join him. People like 17-year-old, you can see in the picture, 17-year-old people, teenagers, they're joining him and enthusiastically dancing in the
Thank
Sankirtan
you.
movement because it's fun, it's not
Thank
enlightenment.
you.
So you have to
Thank
first
you.
enjoy to get
Yes.
enlightenment.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shri Krishna Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah, and
Those they are
in,
in. Yes.
not only in spiritual but in material also we need enjoyment to understand everything. Like in studies also we need like we cannot go and
Motivation.
study. Yeah, we cannot study continuously. We need little enjoyment to refresh our mind so that we
Okay.
can learn it and.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Another point I would state forward.
It is
Favor.
second man.
When we are born, we are not.
Shashwat.
We do not
Favor.
get
Those they are speaking in favor. Yes.
Shashwat.
Shashwat.
We are made to enjoy. So that means that youth is meant for enjoyment. Else we would,
Hey.
would be meant for enlightenment. We would be born and we would start getting enlightened.
Prabhuji, let us first controverse
No,
that
Ronak,
point.
Ronak, stop. Like, I actually, we are on the verge of, ending this, debate because, like, so it's concluding talk is going on. Yes, Shri Krishna put his point. Shashwat, they all are speaking in favor. They put his point, and then, of course, Aryavardhan put up his point. Like, now the Anurag is left and Aviraj is left in this group. So I would like to request Anurag and Aviraj, you just speak a few, like, your 1 or 2 good points, like in your support that why youth is made for enjoyment. And then Ronak, please wait. Then I'll go to, those people they were speaking in against, and they can also put their 1 good point. Okay. Yeah, please. Yes.
Roji, can we also put up a
No,
point?
yes, like I will give a chance to you, but like first Anurag and then Aviraj. Please give a 1 point in your support that why youth is made for enjoyment. Okay, they are not here. Aviraj is not here. Okay, Anurag is not. Aviraj is here. Aviraj, please speak 1 point like why youth is made for enjoyment. Okay, so like 3-4 good points came. Yes, now we go to the against, like yes, Krishna Ghosh Prabhu, Parth Prabhu, Shevansh Prabhu, and the other people, Abhyuday Prabhu, who spoke in against that, in us youth is not meant for enjoyment. Yeah, please give your reasons why it is not. 1 point.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I speak first?
Yeah, sure.
Actually, it's a very beautiful debate. I enjoyed it.
You just give your points, Prabhu.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. My point is, Prabhu, actually, the enjoyment means what we feel. Means what is my experience, what I realized. Means what is my experience, what I explore, and after getting experience, I'm just telling about that experience to everyone. This is enjoyment. But enlightenment means realization.
Let's talk about enlightenment, not enjoyment.
Enlightenment.
You just have to say like in support of
enlightenment means we are hearing. Means what is coming down from something. Like Srila Prabhupada told us about, gave us the teaching of the parampara. That is enlightenment.
Thank you. Ronak Advani Prabhu, you can also speak because you were speaking against.
Yes, Prabhu. So I want to controverse that point which Sri Krishna said. First, we want to understand who is the supreme.
You don't have to controverse. You just have to put your point like in your favor that like why you say that that yes.
So if we increase our so-called enjoyment of the body, then we shall feel more entangled in this conditional life of this material existence. This Srila Prabhupada quotes in Bhagavad-Gita, and he like empowers that point, just like a diseased man, like giving some liquid food. He is forbidden. He's just like too forbidden to take that food, because of any food will aggregate his disease. But still, because he has to exist, he's given some.
We understood.
Water.
You want to say that like, and the more one will entangle into enjoyment.
Similarly,
then enlightenment will be difficult in the later stages. Thank you, Ronak Prabhu. Yes, Krishna Ghosh Prabhu, please. No, it's end. Like we're on the verge of ending. Don't worry. Like you cannot just go on discussing. Like we are just collecting the good points of discussion. You all know what is truth. Yes, Shri Krishna.
So,
Krishna Ghosh.
My conclusion is, for enjoyment, if we go behind enjoyment, that would lead us to a dead end. In simple words, if we say you enjoy, you die after, your wish, your life. you at last become unworthy, stressful, and struggling in the midst of this cycle of birth and death. So, as you go for enjoying, you are getting stuck into the Maya, and this human form of life is get only a precious life where we can devote ourselves towards Krishna. So we should not miss this, as Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj also say that this human life is very short. So engage yourself in Krishna and Vishnu and spread this precious message of absolute truth.
Thank you, Prabhu. And like last few more left, like Parth was there in the team, and yes, Shivansh was there in against. Like, so you can just put a 1 point, and then we just wind up this topic. Yes, Shivansh, Prabhu. Shivansh, Prabhu, you can unmute yourself, and if you want to say something, you can speak. Okay. Shivansh, Hare Krishna.
Can we end, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes. Aviraj, because like Aviraj, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Parth.
Prabhuji, we are first enlightened about our studies by our parents. Then we enjoy our studies now. And the same for the Krishna consciousness also.
Exactly. That you get enlightened to go back to the spiritual world and enjoy over there.
We are first
First you get
enlightened by
Okay.
What
our
is the reason
gurus.
of getting
Then we
enlightened? To
enjoy the
enjoy.
Krishna consciousness.
Prabhuji, you said not to speak in between, na? Let him complete his point.
This is like, you all spoke wonderfully actually. Okay.
But Prabhuji, let him give it the conclusion, what he said.
Yes, okay. Parth, yes, please just give a
So,
point. and
Prabhuji,
then,
first
like,
we are enlightened. Then we can enjoy the things now. We know about them first.
okay, thank you. Fine. Like first we are enlightened, and like, first you know what is enjoyment. Yes, Parth, like rightly concluded, like that. Yes. See, enjoyment is not denied, because when we talk about the soul, soul means what? Anandomaya abhyasa. That is the definition of the soul. Soul is constantly seeking for joy, pleasure. If there is no pleasure, then who will perform bhakti? Yes, like Sri Krishna, like quoted so many points in favor of that. But there is a need to understand what do we mean by enjoyment. Like if you all read Prabhupada Bhagavad-Gita, then there is a very nice verse Prabhupada quoted. I think Krishna Ghosh Prabhu already quoted that verse, but Prabhupada quoted, that particular verse in the purport, and that's called Ramante Yogino Anante Satyanande Chidatmani Iti Ramapad Kavyanas Param Brahma Vidyate. That yogis are the connoisseur of pleasure. You just imagine, when a person can sit at a one particular place and can just go on meditation. And there is an example of Haridas Thakur. How is it possible that one person is sitting at one place and throughout the day he's just calling out the one name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Because it's
And today, our Shivansh Prabhu, he gave a very wonderful speech. He told about, the role of, Bhagavad Gita in the lives of freedom fighters. Now you tell me actually, unless and until there is some love, there is some joy, and which is coming out, from the real source, how, people can be so much motivated, like to take up such a task, becoming free from the country. So yes, you all spoke well, and you should always remember one thing actually. There is a very good verse in Bhagavad Gita that says, Tarko pratishtha shrutiyo vibhinna nasa muniyasya matam na bhinnam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guayam mahajano yena gata sapanta. So nobody can understand, the supreme conclusion. So never, we can never arrive on conclusion on such topics, because this world is complete. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnasya Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashisve. Whatever is coming from the Lord, there is always, some background behind it, and it itself is complete in nature. So enjoyment is not denied, but at the same time, enlightenment is also essential. Like Sashwat quoted about Buddha, how the Buddha got enlightened, and many, like Sri Krishna quoted many examples, and you also quoted many examples. Like Krishna goes to Bhagavad Gita says, Shaknoti heva yasodum prak sharira vimokshanat. Shaknoti heva yasodum. Yehi sansparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. Adantavant konte anna teshu ramte bada. So like scriptures is full of like yehi sansparshaja bhoga, like. So the main point, essential point to be discussed here, that what is enjoyment, which you all people missed it actually. First, like, let's find out the roots. Let's discuss about the main issue. My dear sir, what do you mean by enjoyment? And Abhyuday also quoted very nice thing. See, Baba, if you cannot enjoy, how you can be situated in renunciation also? And he gave very wonderful example. Many people fall from That's called fall from grace. Such a height, they fall actually. So yes, enjoyment is indeed needed, but what do we mean by enjoyment? Enjoyment is of several types. You can enjoy at the level of body, that's called sensual pleasure. You can enjoy at the level of like mind, that's called mental pleasure. You can enjoy at the body, at the higher level, that's called intellectual pleasure. But the real pleasure or real joy is obtained within the heart, that's called spiritual pleasure. So these are all things you must have included in your talk, and then you further can build up the topic and can discuss more. But anyways, it was a good competition. And yes, Ashwath quoted a very nice verse. I like, even this is the beauty of Vedic civilization. He said, like Javam Jikhet, he quoted like this Charvak, Javam Jivet, Javam Jivet, Sukham Jivet. But see, this is the beauty of our sages. They are not saying that like Rinam Kritva Gritam Pivet. They are saying, but these days people will say Javam Jivet, Sukham Jivet, Rinam Kritva alcohol Pivet. Because they cannot afford ghee. They cannot afford pure ghee also. So this is also atheistic philosophy, again coming from the Vedic scriptures, that he say, as long as you are going to live, beg, borrow or steal, but live happily. So the point, in a sense, it is taught, yes, the life should be lived in such a manner that it becomes a festival. And like Sri Krishna was wonderfully like putting one point after another point, like it's a folk, friends of Lord Krishna. Very nice, actually. And yes, in our youth preaching, in our schools, in our Gurukula, like we don't just, like torture, our students in the name of enlightenment, but, we just give them, the what they exactly needed, basically, because the life is meant for what? Kevala Anand Kanda. He quoted very beautifully that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went town to town. For what? Parama Karuna Pahuduhi Jana Kevala Anand Kanda. But in what? First of all, you should understand what is Ananda. What is Ananda? And so you would have you had a greater scope. You can discuss in length actually what kind of enjoyment is a real enjoyment and what kind of enjoyment is like a false or temporary enjoyment. And then further you can build up the topic and can really strongly put your points. There can be so much said, but I should not, because like we have limit. We have to finish. Conclude today's event and then
Prabhuji?
lunch. Yes, Prabhu.
So has the debate officially ended now?
Yes, ended now. And
then I would like to keep a last point.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu.
So actually, enlightenment and enjoyment actually have a kind of symbiotic relationship. You cannot have enjoyment without enlightenment, and you cannot have enlightenment without enjoyment.
Okay.
It does not only go that you just keep on getting enlightened in the youth and you do not have even a moment's spare for enjoyment. You need
Right.
that should be on a spiritual level. The enjoyment should also be Krishna conscious.
Even though you take, like I say, like Path didn't speak like throughout the discussion, but like what he said, point is a very like super duper point. He said actually first you are basically enlightened, and then you can enjoy. Not you first enjoy and then you can be enlightened. And the Ronak was just like firm on that point. Suppose Baba, if you are going to enjoy without getting enlightenment, the enlightenment in the later stages will be difficult. Like if you don't practice brahmacharya, don't get knowledge, how you can enjoy the life, and how you can realize yourself. So Ronak was just fixed on his point, like no enjoyment, because if you lead, this is like a trap. You will fall down and enlightenment will be lost. And past is like our parents enlighten about us about the importance of study, and then we can really relish in it. So it's not just question of material and spiritual, because in a sense everything belongs to God. Everything is a creation of God. If you use it with understanding, with proper enlightenment, that I am the servant of Krishna and my duty is to learn how to use it for Krishna's pleasure, then it's a constructive thing and one gets real enjoyment. And if you just use it in a negatively, one gets like, yes, Sri Krishna, just one point, and then let's invite Ajay Prabhu also to give feedback. Yes.
Okay, Prabhu, let's not go on like a material spiritual, like as you said. See, Prabhu, suppose your midterm exams are coming. It's gonna come in 1 month, and you, as all of us, I don't know about others, but as of me, I don't really like studying. It's not really fun. Learning is really fun, like learning new concepts. And our parents to motivate to motivate us to study and work hard. They give us a reward that okay, if you get like 95% or 90% in the exams, we give you this reward. So running behind that reward, you get enlightenment. Like running behind to get liberation from this world, you do enlightenment, right? So before and after enlightenment, there is always joy. There's always enjoyment before and after.
Yes, a joy will only be there, like if you will run towards a shadow, if you are running after a shadow, it's like illusion. You'll be baffled. Like Vidyapati song, Tatal Saikte Vari Bindu Samasuttamit Ramani Samad. Like if you're just like chasing the marriage, you can't be happy.
Yeah.
But if you are really, like chasing, like going to the real object, you'll be happy. So like, let's not go further. And
Last
we are
point,
extremely delighted and happy to hear all of you. You all of have such a good potential, to
One
understand.
more thing is the reason why the sannyasis get enlightened is to get unlimited enjoyment once they go back to the spiritual world.
And yes, then that unlimited enjoyment, is comes only when it comes in touch with God. Again, the Sri Krishna, the same point comes, like you give the example of sannyasis, like if the yogis and jnanis, they fall from grace. There's a verse in Bhagavatam 10:10, like आरुय कृच्छेण पतंति अनादृत युष्मद अंग्रया, है ना, like ना क्या है ये अन्य अरविंदाक्षमान, है ना, who can know this, like ना, why am I forgetting the verse, like vimukta manina, है ना, so then like patanti anadrit yushmad angraya, because these yogis and jnanis, even though by dint of their own austerity and mental strength and knowledge, they reach to the param padam and आरूय कृच्छेण परम पदम पतंति अनादृत युष्मद अंग्रया ये अन्य अरविंदाक्ष विमुक्त मानिना तयस्त भावा अविशुद्ध बुद्धया. Yeah, this is the prayer quoted by Lord Brahma in 10th canto to Krishna. ये अन्य अरविंदाक्ष विमुक्त मानिना तयस्त भावा अविशुद्ध बुद्धया. Krishna is saying ये अन्य अरविंदाक्ष विमुक्त मानिना, just by dint of their mental and intellectual strength and so-called like some knowledge which they gathered, by dint of their mental and intellectual ability, they consider that now I'm a liberated person, and they commit a like a mistake, offense at the lotus feet of Krishna. Then tayast bhava avishuddha buddhya, like Lord Brahma is saying, they are not actually intelligent. Avishuddha buddhya, their intelligence is polluted. But aruya krichena param padam patanti anadrit yushmad angraya, they reach to a higher level, but patanti anadrit yushmad angraya, they eventually fall down. And we see the example of Haridas Thakur, Vishwamitra Muni, and many great sages, Saubari Muni, Vishwamitra Muni, all are respectable sages. Later they became the great devotees. Vishwamitra eventually became the guru of Lord Ramchandra. Saubari Muni also became a great devotee, but in their previous life we see they had to fall from the grace, like which but like in devotion it's not like that. Devotee is properly enlightened. And what is devotee is like anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya vardhanam rakshishati iti vishwasa. So devotee is enlightened. We have the example of Haridas Thakur, like even though Maya Devi came in front of her, and yes, he was not disturbed, and yes, like other things. So let's stop here. I please request Ajay Prabhuji. So please, Ajay Prabhuji, please give your feedback, and let's proceed towards the end of today's program. Sorry, I took a lot of time, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we must have gone through lots of nice words, as a shower of divine words was there now today. It was really Republic Day now today. Students were looking quite enthusiastic, and they had just expressed their views in a very frank, bold and confident manner. So I also want to clarify this point to you in my own words, as you must have heard, because they are two different things: enjoyment or enlightenment. Because whatever we are doing here on the earth, this is for our own sense gratification. This is quite personal, strictly personal. Actually there is nothing, no interference of any god in it, any guru in it. Because whatever our range of mind is, as per the range of mind we take the decision whether it is good or bad, and we do it, we satisfy our senses. But when we start learning about Krishna, we start praising Krishna. We just either because of some sudden experiences of life, and we start believing in Kali Yuga, or because of our previous karma, then we start living in company of the good sages. We start appreciating God, and we actually, everybody does not deserve. Some people deserve, because in Kali Yuga all cannot deserve, because they have to wait for long to be the part of spirituality. And if somebody is the part of spirituality, then he is the most lucky man, because till when he must be waiting for it. From ages he must be waiting for it. Now finally he has got the golden opportunity to be the part of spirituality. Then he start doing the work in services of Krishna, in pleasure of Krishna. When he does this, then obviously he can understand what the enlightenment is. And that is the part for which God is responsible. As we must have heard that Tesha Satat Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mamupayanti Te तेषामेवानुकंपार्थम अहम अज्ञानजम तमः नाशयाम्यात्म भावस्तो ज्ञान दीपेन भास्वता. Because God just makes our range of mind or capacity enlarged only when we start praising God, we start believing in Him, we start discussing about Him. The topic of discussion is God, because here we are discussing God, we are discussing good things. So obviously this is a wonderful congregation. This is a real congregation today. And the people, as we have already discussed at the time of discussion, then most of the people actually keep pretending that they are devotees, but they are not. This is the fact, no doubt in it. But when we 100%, not 99.9, when 100% we are devoted to Krishna, then obviously this is the enlightenment. Because most of the example we have seen in our previous life, that how Mirabai and how lots of people, those who were quite berefted, those who understood reality, and finally they left their houses also bag and baggage, and because they realized it. And till when we must be waiting, suppose this time this life actually we is complete, and in sensuous enjoyments, but life will, what actually the meaning of life is nothing, because many more words we need to wait. And for that very worth, when God will just invite us to get connected. And as we all are connected, we are on the pious land, and Bhaktivedanta Gurukula International School, we are already there, so we are already connected, so we are blessed people, all we are blessed people. And but only there's a need to get connected with sincerity. One time if we get connected, still you can enjoy, and still you can do the same activities as you are doing nowadays. No routine changes are there, but then the work will be done in pleasure of Krishna. Then the capacity will be enlarged. Whatever the eyes can see, eyes can capacity of eyes will be enlarged. Whatever ears can hear, capacity of ears will be enlarged. Everything will be enlarged, and we can see or feel whatever we cannot. Only a devotee or a true lover of Krishna can tell you his experience. But actually the persons those who are not devotees, they cannot understand, because their senses are limited, and they will remain limited till when he will not offer his every activity since morning till night in pleasure of Krishna. Then he can understand that when the nice talk is possible between the two persons. Otherwise, one is the person who believes in sensuous enjoyment, one is the person who believes in enlightenment. But actually, there can be no debate between the two persons, because here all of us are favoring enlightenment. And no doubt, because enjoyment you must have taken, as Prabhuji has said, the real, there is no enjoyment first, there is enlightenment first. Enlightenment leads to enjoyment. Enjoyment means real enjoyment. What actually the real enjoyment is, no routine changes are required. Routine is same, but we have to do every activity in pleasure of Krishna. That is real enjoyment. I am not talking about only for this world, I am talking about all upcoming time that we will lead in services of Krishna after completing our lifespan on the earth. So this is the very limited lifespan, but after this unlimited lifespan is waiting for us, and that we want to secure, and we can enjoy in such a way on the earth, and thereafter our position can be sure and definite, even in the abode of Krishna as well. Thank you, Nimai Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, I was unmuted.
Yeah.
It's okay. So thank you all so much for your wonderful participations. And yes, this is a real Republic Day celebrations, because Bharat Bhumite Haila Manushya Janma Yaar. Janma Sarthak Kari Kari Paropkar. We should constantly aspire, for achieving towards perfections. We all, have our, limitations. So let's not have more time. If I request, if Damodar Prabhu is here or Radhakan Prabhuji is here, then we can just conclude. Otherwise, we just officially end it here. So
Radhakant Prabhu
thanks to
was
all
there,
of you.
Prabhuji, I think, but Radhakant Prabhu was there.
He might be busy, like in some service.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so thank you all so much for very wonderfully and enthusiastically, like participating. First of all the teachers, like who explained it, and and certainly you will receive, feedbacks about your speech and debate competitions. Like the respective teachers, like noted your expression and you have the good points actually. Let us all chant one time. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Prema Purushottam Shri Satchidanand Prabhu ki jai. Sri Gaur Hari Prabhu ki jai. And yes, Bharat Bhumi ki jai. Janani Janma Bhumishya Swargadapi Gariyasi. So we are very fortunate, this Pankti is from Ramayana that we have taken part in India. Bharata Mata ki jai. Happy Republic Day to all of you.